1, 2, 3, clap. Hi, everybody. This is the Fruity Rumpus Asshole podcast, and we're going to start our episode on Rose. I'm Con.
I'm Saxel.
I'm your resident diversity hire, Tart.
And I'm Phoebe.
So we're doing our episode on Rose today, but let's start off with recent Homestuck news. So tell us, what has actually gone on? Because me and Phoebe have not read the most recent update as of 3:15.
You probably want to take this one.
Oh, okay. I'll take this one. All right. So new Homestuck news is about 2 updates for Homestuck 2. The most latest one is the Jade and Alt Calliope update, where Jade bucks off the control of Alt Calliope and tells her how much of a bad person she is. And the one before that is involving Rosebot and Terezi. It's a very long 1-page update that probably could have been split into several updates to be easier to read and digest. But, you know, let's not focus on that.
They had to keep the Patreon quota.
Gotta reach those 2K.
I guess. So, that update involves Rose, not Rose confronting Terezi. I think it's the other way around.
Terezi confronting Rose in this really weird... I read that one. It was this really weird thing where, like, Terezi's basically just saying, do you even care about everybody else besides you? Like, are you really this awesome god? It's like, the whole thing was just like, what is a god to a non-believer type thing? Yeah, that I read. And then also, didn't Dirk make fun of everybody? Like, just anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mouthpiece time.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, well, what was the direct quote? Let me find it. Like,
Is it the Welcome to Nam quote? Because,
yeah,
that stupid, self-indulgent, haha, we're in the long haul now, I got you.
I'll go get the picture.
All right, here we go. I fiddle with some advanced speciation machinery for a few hours and then come back to this. This is the problem with lesser actors. Leave them alone for too long, and they get all touchy and start talking about feelings. We're passing the Bechdel test? We're passing the Bechdel test and advancing another plot. There were hardly any panels. That's not my Homestuck.
Damn fucking straight.
You people are here for logic, systems, weird plot shit, lore,
Yes.
not this. Oh, sorry. Was that fourth wall break a little much? Did your disbelief until now so utterly delinquent and prone to vagrants? I can't even fucking
So
read this.
condescending.
It's so
I hate
like
it.
you're just making fun of everybody.
I can read between the lines and I can see you just seething as you type that on the keyboard, like for fuck's sake, man. Write a story.
You can't build a bigger strawman without just recreating the Scarecrow from frickin' Wizard of Oz at that point. And just like the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz, it too says a lot of things, but has no brain inside of its head.
That's a great analogy. Thanks for introducing me to that.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna steal it.
No brain, no heart. It's the entire fucking thing.
But, okay, here's the thing. It's them just saying, if you aren't 100% on board with us, fuck you. If you don't like us, fuck you.
You know what they're also saying? They're also saying we don't have any ideas and no idea how to write people.
Actually, yeah, because they make fun of the fact that when the characters are not doing important plot shit, they have to talk and get feelsy and shit.
Gotta fill it in with narration.
Yeah.
Remember when Homestuck had narration and it was like innovative and good and like a whole layer of the storytelling that was separate from the panels and the dialogue?
I miss WV.
Yeah.
Kind of acting like the weird narrator. And then Doc Scratch. I miss Doc Scratch.
I miss
all
him
that
so
too.
fucking much, not this discount fucking pony fucking homosexual bastard. And I can say that, okay? Screw you.
You know what's incredible is that Doc Scratch also was very smug and self-assured, but despite the fact he's just really enjoyable to read,
So
despite
suave.
that,
Yeah, it was like Doc Scratch knew what the fuck he was doing, and it made you feel like he knew what the fuck he was doing, and
He's a professional.
like it made you in awe of Doc Scratch. Dirk
He
here,
was intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
scared of Dirk at all. I'm fucking terrified of Scratch.
I just want to smack Dirk.
Yeah.
I just want to smack this fucker because he sucks. Dirk is my least favorite character in all of Homestuck, and honestly, it should have been Dirk and not John.
Yeah, I agree. John is a much better character than Dirk is. I liked Dirk when he came out. I liked him when he was drawing with Caliborn, but not anymore. He's a gross stand-in for all of the stuff the authors hate now.
Which is weird.
His character arc's like a horseshoe that just goes off a cliff at the end. He slowly becomes less likable, then slightly more likable with the fucking conversations with Dave. And then all that's thrown out the window because ultimate selves are just a tool to get characters to act the way you want rather than the way they would.
Yeah, no kidding.
The whole fucking ultimate self thing doesn't make sense. It feels
Contrive.
I like Dragon Ball Z, but the even further beyond every time, like they have to keep introducing new levels. Like they had, okay, you have your normal level, then you have God tier. Now they have ultimate self plus God tier. It's like Super Saiyan Blue.
It's like, oh, but Dirk didn't act like this, but like all the other Dirks in hypothetical timelines, they were total dicks, so it makes sense now.
I honestly don't understand the whole thing with Ultimate Self, because it does sound like an evolution of God tier, but then at the same time, it's just like, yeah, but it kills you if you're God tier. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, though. You're a god. Shouldn't the game predispose you to being able to take that?
I was thinking that. Yeah, how is it killing how the fuck is it killing Rose? Rose is a God tier.
It made sense if it killed someone like Terezi, because she never God tiered.
Yeah, she's immortal. And also to God tier, you have to die anyway, so it's like, what?
And how can Dirk take it and not Rose?
Prince of Heart. It's a special thing with this class spec.
I mean, he killed himself, and I honestly don't remember the scheme he pulled to actually achieve it. It's been that long since I've read the epilogue.
He had a scheme?
There could be like some implications, because Dirk is one half of the narrators of this post-canon story. That might not actually be the way it works, but that's what he's setting up. You know what I mean? Sort of like when fan fiction writers set things up that they act as canon, because it wasn't actually set in the canon itself, so you make up your own rules as you go along.
Oh, speaking of
yeah.
making shit up and worst characters, the other update that we've gotten since you were last here.
Oh, what was that?
Jade finally tells Calliope to fuck off in about twice as many panels as was necessary.
Yeah, we're too busy on the other. Yeah, we're on this one. We were on the Rosebot. We'll get more into Rosebot later. But I haven't read Calliope and Jade, so if you guys wanted to have some discussions, I'll be here and listening.
Yeah, I haven't read that one either. It's like, I really love Jade, but like, this update has not captured my interest, and it's like, even though it's kind of an interesting storyline, since Jade has been controlled for like a giant chunk of the latter part of Homestuck, and now she's being controlled again, and it seems like it would be like a really interesting thing to find out what happens to her, but I'm not interested. I don't care what happens to them, and it's sad.
I love Jade too. Jade's probably my favorite of the beta kids, and I remind people of Jade too. So
yeah, according to one of our comments on YouTube, wow, Saxel is my canon Jade voice.
Thank you. That feels really good.
That's great. Yeah, your voice is so cute.
Thank
my
you.
goodness.
You have such a nice voice too, Phoebe.
Oh, thank you. You all have very nice voices.
We're probably patting each other on the back.
Including you, viewer, yes.
You're very handsome today. Or pretty. Actually, fuck it. You're both. You're both. Have a good day.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get some Keanu Reeves in here. So, yeah, Jade is like a character I wanted good things to happen for so long. And just
nothing good happens.
Nothing good happens.
Fucking
and it's
terrible.
Just a constant parade of that. The one moment where Jade finally does get to tell someone who's responsible for her, missing out on things or repressing her, telling that person to fuck off is like cathartic in a way, But I can't be happy about it because of the writers. It's the meta-awareness of knowing this isn't going to stick, or it's not going to get better anyway. Because Jade's friends didn't care that she was possessed anyway.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they probably would have tried harder to get all Calliope to piss off or, body swap with Jade more often and not just let her hang out for, however long she was on that spaceship with everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, it sure sucks.
Everybody is an asshole in the epilogues. Like, everybody, how it feels like a fucking American Psycho with how much they don't care about people. Like, they don't know who that guy is. Like, oh fuck, this guy murdered him. This guy completely disappeared. Ha!
jeez.
They don't care.
Probably ran off to the fucking Cayman Islands.
I want them to be friends again.
John's
so
dead. No one.
Yeah, nobody has anybody asked what the fuck. Has anybody in the Meat universe asked where the fuck John is? Roxy did once, and then she's like, whatever. John's John is John. He's fine.
He's probably fine.
No,
yeah.
he's fucking dead in Teresi's capture log.
Hey, writers, are you going to mention the letters that he wrote to his friends that he left behind before he went to go do his thing?
They don't listen to
No.
this podcast. They don't take criticism.
I'm still going to ask.
They don't-
Because I'm a cheeky bitch.
What makes you think they know how to write human interactions? They don't even have human interactions. Everything they do is just for laughing at the audience in a very rude way.
God, I love clout. Gets me off.
They're like the fan fiction version of hype beasts.
Why are they writing this if they don't even like it? Why are they doing it?
Although, I just like some continuity or acknowledgement, I guess, for this Jade thing. Finally, it's like, okay, Jade fans,
You can have your fucking...
we hear you bitching. Here you go. Here's your fucking bone.
Go get Nolan on it, because you're not getting another one for another year. No, you're not getting another one for 3 years.
Okay, Jade is fucking Karkat and Dave's best friend. And the thing that they're most pissed off about is the fact that Calliope is creepy. That's it. They're not pissed off that Calliope has literally sucked the soul out of their best friend. They care that the person who is inhabiting their best friend's body is kind of a bitch.
Not that
That's it.
she's a fucking thousands of years of sentience fucking ultimate self-god monster who's meat puppeting a dying young woman.
I don't think Meat Jade's dying. She just
No.
is constantly possessed, which is a horrible thing to do to a person who has not had any sort of autonomy for themselves for so long. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have been okay with any other character either.
Yes.
But this is Jade, who's already had a lot of her body autonomy and, agency denied for her for so long that it's an extra level of fucked up on top of already being fucked up.
Yeah, it was Candy Teen Jade who fought Lord English. That was the one that was dying and possessed.
That was the fucked up one.
Oh well, give it another
literally
year in those
Got stabbed in
god-tier
space.
clothes. She's probably going to get a god-tier staph infection. Fucking die.
Just-
Oh no.
All right. I think we've had enough discussion on the update because we're going into just unironic Jade discussion, but we need to talk about Rose.
I'm sorry. I must wait for Jade's episode.
We could do Jade
We talked
next.
a lot. No, we gotta do the boy next after
All right,
this
we'll
one.
take care of that.
Jesus, Dave and Jade at the same time, that's just salt on top of salt.
How about Rose's character development? Let's get on that. Or I guess, as we discussed, more of her regression than development, really. Let's talk about how Rose was. What described Rose?
I'm very passive aggressive. Funny.
She's very, very snarky, but in a sly kind of way, which I appreciated. There's different levels of being a bitch. She's the sort of level of bitch who will say something to you, but it's not entirely insulting.
You won't know. Yeah, so you don't realize she's being a bitch until later.
And that's a fun sort of character to have. She's kind of like Dave with the whole insincerity thing,
Yeah.
except where he kind of hides behind 7 layers of irony and a frickin' giant wall surrounding himself. Rose goes in with expectations of what other people are going to be like with her and draw those conclusions before, actually knowing these people or what their motivations or anything are like. I think that's why she appreciated John, was because John was too stupid in her opinion to be like manipulative or anything other than genuine with her.
John's a good boy. John wouldn't hurt anybody.
I miss John.
Yeah.
This is also why she construes a lot of what her mother did as, as being not earnest or being sarcastic.
Yeah. I think Rose was written pretty well in the beginning because, I don't know, dealing with your mom as a teen girl, there's going to be like a lot of passive aggression with that. And I thought it was really funny and spot on. Like, just anything her mom did was just like viewed as an attack. Like, oh yeah, go away, mom. Oh, it was just so fun. It was just so fun.
I really liked just Rose's mother's abuse just kind of like permeated all of her life. I mean, I don't like the fact that she was abused, but it literally molded every part of her.
Yeah.
Every single bit, yeah. She learned to be observant, but not very self-reflective.
And following directly in your mother's mistakes is like, that's a big no-no.
She fell into the pit that so many people fall into, though.
Until she got saved by a mass-murdering, narcissistic psychopath, but that's how you fix alcoholism.
Saved by a slap to the hand.
Yep, that's how you stop alcoholism and
Don't
drug
drink
addiction.
that.
Just beat people.
That's how you save my entire fucking country.
This was something that kind of popped up with her after a really big sort of character moment. Rose operates under the impression that she's the smartest person in the room. That is, until she meets the smartest person in the room, who plays her like a goddamn fiddle.
Mr. Is this Doc Scratch?
This is Doc Scratch. The doctor
Mr.
is
Doctor.
Oh boy.
He spent 10 years working on that PhD. You better refer to him as Doctor.
We need to do a mini episode on Doc Scratch. Like just 30 minutes on Doc Scratch, but
We need a villains episode.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that.
I think that would be a great episode idea for meta shit. Narrators and how they affect Homestuck, the brilliance of Doc Scratch versus the failure of almost everybody else.
all right. Saxel, gotta calm you down. Can't push yourself. Do this. Let's go. Let's keep going on Rose.
Note taken.
I'm sorry, Doc Scratch is so cool.
All right.
But yeah, the way she interacted, it permeated a lot of the rest of her character because she was smart, but she's not as smart as she believes she is.
Mm-hmm.
This goes into like her interest in psychology.
Yeah.
She's not a good psychologist. She fails to recognize recurring traits or problems with people. Her entire thing, not being quite as good as she thinks she is.
Now, the one thing I could describe Rose is that I don't think she doesn't know what she doesn't know. Like, the sign of, like, a really intelligent person, and I've dealt with extremely talented scientists in my life, and they know what they don't know. I think that is the sign that someone is actually really intelligent. They know what the fuck they don't know, and Rose definitely doesn't know what she doesn't know, and she thinks everything she knows is everything, and which goes into her psychology obsession.
She's the Dunning-Kruger kid.
Who hasn't known a person like that?
Yeah.
That's why Rose is great. It's like, I like when the characters in Homestuck are just like parodies of people you see online, like way back then. I wish it was still like that, but sadly, it's different now.
Now the people are the parodies.
Oh no, you're right. I'm just gonna say I love Rose. She's hilarious. Every time I think about her, it's just like my mind goes back to the time where mom just like left a note on a pillow, and it was just like the most hilarious thing to me. And I'm so sad that we are not doing that anymore. We as in Homestuck.
Rose's like bizarre freaking war of earnest, not earnest.
The passive-aggressive war
that
with
was
her
great.
mother. I love it.
Like, with the W and all
It
that.
was so good.
Oh, God, that was...
What happened?
We have to be real now. Yeah, you know.
This is the real world.
Everything's mega serious. She's an alcoholic. That's a huge problem, you guys.
Yeah, Rose also let's just keep characterizing Rose. Rose also loved the occult. She was obsessed with it.
Oh yeah. That's why she was so eager to like listen to the horror terrors and shit.
She was that goth kid.
That's why she went grimdark. That's why she had the fucking thorns of Agogloglog or whatever they're called.
Agogloth?
Agogloth sounds okay. You know the grapefruit girl. You know, grapefruit in your mouth. That sounds like like the what I thought.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
That one horror terror. There you go.
Yeah. All the horror terrors are just named after sound clips from that video.
We need that. We need a soundboard of that video.
But she loved the horror terrors, and then I haven't seen much of that lately. I haven't. When was the last time she fucking referenced her eldritch, her love of the eldritch and love of the dark in Arcane?
That all seemed to die after she got freaking got by Bec Noir.
Yeah.
I feel like
that was a little abrupt. That was just like, oh, she's just like.
Well, I think that falls into like her realizing that she's not as smart as she thinks she is and being used by other people. When she asked the cue ball whether or not the horror terrors were evil, under behest of Doc Scratch, mind you, that's when she went grimdark.
Oh,
that part was so cool.
Dude, that
was really cool.
Grimdark Rose was awesome.
Really cool.
Yes, I guess that was a very good example of character progression. She learned that she's not smart.
Which, again, hits her twice over when she discovers the purpose of the tumor and that they weren't meant to destroy the green sun but create it, was her being duped the second time.
got fucking played.
And, like, personally, I think these two events, plus the fact that she played this game to bring back her cat and lost her mom in the process, who I think she started to realize she was maybe wrong about, explained why she, started drinking. That was my impression anyway.
Honestly, I can't recall enough about that. I read that so many years ago.
Well, it is true that the whole reason why Rose even wanted to play was because she wanted the opportunity to bring back Jaspers.
Oh, wow.
Because Jaspers was dead.
That's so sweet. Poor Rose, honestly.
But it's terrible because she did get her cat back, and you can see in the panel where Jaspers meets her.
Oh, she got her cat back, all right.
She's so happy to see him, but I think there's something weird and telling, and I kind of wish that they addressed it, where Rose doesn't really talk or interact with Jaspers, especially after the whole like cascade and meteor and stuff. She doesn't really interact with him at all, which is like a missed opportunity because again, she played the entire game for Jaspers, and it would have been cool if it was like some acknowledgement. Oh my god, I played this horrible game for this stupid fucking cat. I lost my mom. I lost my sense of intelligence or propriety for myself.
I died.
I've died. It's been miserable, all for this stupid freaking cat.
Gave everything up for a cat. That's great. That's a good analysis. I wish they would bring that up. But
it could even be stronger because now Jaspers is part of Jaspros.
Yeah. Now they just...
and she kind of embodies that.
Now they're finally together.
They're finally together. And they could finally read each other's minds.
Solely being a sprite. You just get consigned.
But is that what she wanted either? I mean, she's still Jaspro seems kind of happy with what's going on. But Rose hates it. If you watch Rose's reactions, oh, this is stupid. But in my opinion, I'm watching it and I'm going, man, that has to be salt on top of a mega wound.
It's super monkey paw.
All that, and you get to see your dead self combined with the cat that you played this game for, and she's mega obnoxious and embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a kick in the teeth.
Okay, so one of my friends, Loki Roki, drew Jasperos towards the end of Homestuck. And I can never, ever, ever picture Jasperos again without seeing this picture that Loki drew of Jasperos' feet. It was just a foot pic. And it's just it's a very sexual foot pic.
Would you mind linking that in the chat, please?
I will try. I don't think Loki ever published it outside of HSG. I have to find it though. No. I will shake down Loki for it.
Well, if you ever find it, you know where I am.
Oh no.
For the archives.
I will consult. I'll consult Mozai. He will find it.
Thank God.
He fully has
if it exists, Mozai has it.
That's true.
Fucking
We need. Oh yeah,
humor.
I cannot. We have to do an episode with Mozai and Lane.
Yeah.
Teaching Homestuck.
The history.
Teaching about Homestuck.
The history
right.
of Homestuck. We need to play that like fancy music that plays whenever like British people talk about like Charles Dickens and shit.
All right. Now, what? So, since the epilogue, or how about this? Since Act 6, how the fuck has Rose really backtracked as a character? We all kind of agree that a lot of the characters are kind of hollow now. How has Rose gone back?
A big meme with Rose is, haha, play the rain. With even Hussey, I think, in the commentaries going, yeah, she was never meant to play the rain, get dunked on nerd. But the problem with Rose is that character-wise, I think after Cascade hit a mega low because she's been manipulated twice. Her faith in her own intelligence is shot. She has Kanaya now, but
that doesn't help.
That doesn't help. Kanaya wants to be mate spritz with Rose, not exactly pale with her, because it's more like someone who's a Moirail would be able to help her with that problem. And you don't want to get into another freaking quadrant, so we're not going to just talk about that.
Fucking poor Kanaya. She is a pale slut, man.
Yeah.
She doesn't
real.
want to be a pale slut.
Just everyone around her can't handle themselves.
The real lesson to be learned is that the quadrants are bullshit, and the fact that like Homestuck ends with not either Kanaya or Karkat going, you know what, this shit's bullshit, is a shame.
Yeah. Now, I want to clarify real quick. When I say pale slut, I'm not trying to slut shame. I'm just making a joke.
You can't talk about our intern like that.
I mean, she's been called other things. She's been called Ashen Slut before, so.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of seems like everyone thinks of her as the pale slut, but she really has never been. She just kind of ends up in those relationships because nobody thinks of her anything else than pale, including Rose for a long time.
Yeah. She also, like...
She's just too helpful. Too helpful for her own
She wants
good.
to help these poor freaking idiots, and she wants to mom them. I understand that, because when I see someone sad, I don't want to see them sad. I want to try and help them so they're not sad.
Yeah. No one deserves Kanaya. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it, Kanaya.
We talked a little bit about Rose's obsession with psychology, and in the beginning... she was bad at psychology. It was like tongue-in-cheek, like Rose talks like she knows everything about psychology because she read Freud once.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She spits the jargon out. I know a lot of people like that. If you've ever seen the Rockwell Turbo Retro Encabulator, that's kind of what Rose sounds like in a psychological perspective. It's like she didn't even take Psych 101.
She sounds like
I've taken Psych 101.
Sounds like a kid with a thesaurus, and I like that. Because I knew a lot of kids on the internet like that.
I have big words. Me smart.
Kids don't know the fucking limit.
I read Freud's Wikipedia page. Me smart.
It's kind of endearing.
Yeah, it is. It actually is endearing.
Because she feels like a kid for when she does that, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, but now Rose spits psychology, and it's still just as bad as it was back then. But they frame it like it was framed originally as I'm so smart. I watched a documentary on Freud once, and it was Hussey making fun of people like that, which is awesome. And now, but because the fucking whoever's writing Rose now, or was writing Rose towards the end of Homestuck, and now they're like they're too stupid to
understand. They are those people.
Yeah. But they were too stupid.
And they took over.
They were too stupid to realize that Hussey was making fun of them. And they're like, oh yeah, Hussey thought he was smart. Rose was really good at psychology, so let's make it. And they framed it. Now they're framing Rose as being good at psychology, but they're just as bad at psychology because the fucking people writing them are bad at psychology.
Yeah.
The lunatics have taken over the asylum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, even a fucking chum handle. It's like, it was a joke.
I only
It was a pun.
I only recently found out about that.
Tentacle therapist, man.
I like her handle because it really says a lot about you by what you read first.
It's like a reading Rorschach test.
That is the most
Yeah.
unfortunate word on earth, though.
Therapist? I agree.
Therapist. It's very unfortunate. Therapistfinder.com.
I wonder if there's like any etymological link there.
I don't. If there is, I don't want to know.
I kind of want to know.
This is it. Okay, we can look later. Rose was started off as the I'm smarter than you, the snarky know-it-all kid in grade school. Everyone knew them. I was that person.
I think a lot of us were.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
friends with that
If you're on the-
person. She was cool. Not really, but she was a little cool.
Now she's just kind of like this too deep for you. And it was a tongue, like the Rose character was tongue in cheek a little bit, just like everything in Homestuck.
Yeah.
Now, Homestuck didn't take itself so seriously, and now Rose is too deep for you. I am the smartest person, except for Dirk. I am the smartest person, and I am. If you don't understand me, you're stupid.
It's not fun
Rose
anymore.
now takes herself too seriously.
It's just insulting.
Yeah, it's not funny.
and not in a like a joking way. It's just I feel like they took the funny internet kid stereotype a little too far and a little bit too seriously and took it a little bit too much to heart because they are those kids.
Yeah, it's just a wider trend.
Like, if you want to know a funny way to make fun of certain people, well, look at the before-ish trolls. Like, they were actually pretty good. Cankry was a great SJW,
Yeah, I agree.
like, caricature. But they didn't take... None of the characterization took itself too seriously. And Rose takes herself so seriously. And she's written so seriously. The authors take her so seriously. It's bad.
Like, imagine if Matuna was an actual, had a storyline about fucking disability, man.
Oh no.
It'd be,
Oh, like a serious one?
yeah, like,
Oh,
that's
no.
how it'd be. Like, the man talks in fucking green text. Like,
He went on B once, and this is how he came out.
it's fucking brain rot. I was on that thread from fucking Open Bound. Was it part 2 or part... I think it was part 2. Came out, man. It was fucking hilarious.
Matuna is a good boy, though.
Best
Yeah,
fucking...
I don't even dislike the story they gave him in the actual comic. He's a good kid. He's just trying to help. He got a little banged
you
up.
Just, again, it's a balance between serious...
You find out that he like did something that like sacrificed his own mental acuity to save
Yeah.
everybody apparently, and
yeah,
that's like
he sacrificed himself, and now he's got.
I get to be happy.
Now he's got a.
Good job, Matuna. We're
Yes.
proud of
It
you.
was a comedy with serious bits instead of the other way around.
I remember reading that update in my physics class. They had computers for everybody, and we were supposed to use them for schoolwork, but I was reading Homestuck. They didn't block Homestuck at my school.
Perfect.
I digress. Yeah, I digress. We're going. Do we have anything else to discuss, like what happened to Rose, what she is? Because now she just kind of seems like the too deep for you doomer.
Well,
Aside from the Kanaya parts, which we've got later.
It's like when she and Kanaya got together. It was the end of Rose's like development as a character, and she just stagnated because hey, she got her girlfriend, whatever. And now this
She's
is
got
done.
a happy ending now.
Yep, that's all you need for
That's
a
all you
woman.
need.
Rose lesbian edition. Rose no that's all the character development you need. Rose is lesbian. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, that's it. I don't appreciate it. Like I like that ship, but I want to see them being sarcastic and funny again.
but people don't have arcs.
Rose and Kanaya's connection, like Snarkfest, was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Where did it go?
what'd they say?
Passing
You're
the
passing the
best-
Bechdel
yeah.
test, but advancing none of the plot. Well, guess what? Rose and Kanaya advanced the plot and passed the Bechdel test and were very meaningful. And they were so enjoyable to read. And now, there's fucking nothing that's worth reading. Anything that comes out of Rose's mouth in the epilogues or... God, yeah. in the fucking epilogues and in Homestuck 2, anything that comes out of Rose's mouth is just fluff. It's just drivel.
It's just back and forth with Dirk.
Oh, I was gonna say like pseudo-intellectual bullshit.
It's a bunch of wall-breaking crap.
Yeah.
How many fucking words can I use to say nothing at all?
Yeah.
Oh, the Charles Dickens method of writing.
John Green had a quote where he's just like, I could tell this was this 18th century author, and I think it was either Herman Melville or something else. Like, I could tell because he just uses so many words to say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking Rose. She just says pseudo-intellectual bullshit over and over, and it's like you could condense everything that Rose says nowadays into 5 sentences.
I hate that.
It's like they're getting paid by the word.
Yeah. Kinda, yeah.
But they're literally doing the opposite. They're getting paid by the updates. It would benefit them to have good pacing, but they can't have good pacing because they are not good comic writers. They don't know how to write comics. I will die on this fucking hill. They don't know how to write comics.
They don't.
They don't care about comics as a medium.
They're all fanfic writers, which is fine in its own right, but it's not the same.
It's fanfiction with pictures, for fuck's sake, man.
Honestly, with this coronavirus bullshit, I think I might have enough time to go back and read some of Kate and Aisha's and all these people's fanfics, and then just, after I deal with the ulcer, just compare them and how shitty they are to the writing now, because it's bad. The writing's bad.
What I hate is, like, I don't understand, like, the writers think that the bigger and longer words you use, the better writing it is, but it's not that. It's about, like, sentence structure and flow, and it's just, I don't think they understand it.
I read a ton of technical writing. I do a lot of technical writing, and I've I've done a whole bunch of I've done a lot with technical writing in my life. You can say so much in a couple words if you use it right. That's all technical writing is. It's like, how do you because nobody wants to read this bullshit. Everybody in technical writing hates what they're reading, and you want to say it as fast as possible to getting as much information in there. And because it's all dry, it's like, okay, what's the thermal expansion coefficient of this of steam at this temperature? Like, nobody cares. Like, it's everyone hates it, but they need to know it. So you say it very concisely, and seeing all this fluff here pisses me off because you could just condense. Like, sure, you want a little fluff in your writing because it makes it nicer. It gives it a nice texture, I guess. But I don't want to bite into this word sandwich, and all I get is iceberg lettuce. It's bread and lettuce. Give me the meat. Where's the meat?
I think, like, what's important about this, because I know someone will point out that, this is just how a character talks. Like, Rose is very verbose, just like Dave is. That's kind of like the storyline thing. But I want to retort that if they're saying something for Dave, it's a long, winding metaphor that kind of goes nowhere, but it's funny. Versus Rose, who, when she talks, does say a lot of things, but it also reflects on her character and her thoughts, either to the person that she's talking to or about herself, as a sort of window.
Rose ultimately always speaks with a point. Dave will fuck around. John he's not the brightest. Jade is a bit silly, but Rose was always the one who was forwarding the plot, forwarding events.
But that's not the case anymore.
No, it's not.
Which is kind of the problem.
Dave talks in those metaphors, but he keeps them, like, before would it be like 2 lines of that shitty metaphor? This shitty roundabout self-referential metaphor. It was like 2 lines. Now it's fucking like 10 lines.
Yeah,
Rose,
it's not poetic anymore. It's not fun to read. Yeah, it's not structured well.
I actually went back and I read several pages of Dirk dialogue from Act 6 when Hussey wrote it. And yeah, it was wordy. It was a mouthful. It was like Dirk. It was Dirk. However the fuck Dirk talks, really. It's hard to describe. But it was like he would never take more than 2 lines to say something. 2 or 3 lines max. Now he takes 4 to 5 to 6 lines in the epilogues in Homestuck 2 to say the same thing he could say in 3.
It's just like, they don't know how to write.
I want to dig up Ernest Hemingway's body and, like, Frankenstein him back together just so he can read this and have a stroke.
Die again? Poor guy.
I'm going to torture one of the most well-known and respected writers in American literary history for the sake of shitting on Homestuck.
I don't even like Hemingway either.
I bet he'd appreciate it in an ironic way.
Oh no. God, please.
I read I just want to tell you how I compared reading Dirk and Rose. I once read a 75-page report by a Greek man named Silingarisis, and it was on solar stills and the properties of the air-water mixture within solar stills. And I read all of that verbatim. I knew everything that was in it. I read it several times, and I found all of that extremely dry, mathematical, heavy, fucking horseshit so much more enjoyable than a single page of Rose and Dirk's dialogue. It was very dry, very technical. I hated it, and I loved it compared to what I feel about Dave and Rose.
The technical manual is probably more sincere than anything going on.
It was. In fact, I will say something funny. He started off the paper saying, "Hey, these people who wrote these papers, they're fucking wrong," in a very polite, very muted, very matter-of-fact thing. He was just like, "They're just plainly wrong," and then he goes on, and then half the paper was like, "Here's why they're wrong," and he was kind of just saying "fuck you" for half a page in very technical writing. He was saying "fuck you" with statistics. I loved it. I love that part. Sorry. Now, yeah. So Rose's talk doesn't talk like she used to. They just fluff up their words. I hate it. Oh God, we've gone a long time, guys. We're at 50 minutes. Yeah, we got to go on the next topic. I'm sorry. All right, Hussey hates world building.
Yeah.
Tart, you brought this up. This is a Rose related, but Tart, let's keep this under 15 minutes.
Right. I think Rose's whole character arc can be directly tied to the waning interest of Hussey in Skaya and what it represents, and in how the world is portrayed, because Rose is very intimately tied to the whole systems of the game. Particularly in she recognises, hey, this is fucked, man, we're fucked. And she'd rather tear it all down than live within that system. But that element eventually gets lost, I think, some point in Act 6. Especially after, as you said, the defeat. She got fucking manipulated into the tuber and all the events leading into Cascade.
Yeah, I will probably say Act 6 is the Vietnam of Homestuck, because everyone went in there and they got slogged. It was such a slog, and it was such a horrible thing, and there was so much waiting and boredom that everything got lost. Whatever went in did not come out the same.
I agree so much. Oh man. It's like
the fucking nom.
When Hussey gets tired of something, he really gets tired of it, and he wants to distance himself away from it like as soon as he can, but with Homestuck he couldn't. So you could really kind of see him trying to push his arm out and distance himself from whatever was going on, but it's gonna follow him forever.
It's weird because he's quite good at it.
Yeah.
He's quite good at creating these
Just stick with it. Stick with it until you have something finished.
I mean, they make no fucking sense, but somehow they're still enjoyable and coherent.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like is he doesn't do it. Yeah, he doesn't do any world building. He just kind of like gives you a drop of something. He just gives you like a drop of the most beautiful nectar ever. It's like, oh man, this is.
And then he moves on. Yeah.
And he's like, all right, that's done. You're done.
That's it.
I'm cutting you off.
Dude,
I'm cutting you off.
Give me. All right, you don't have to give me everything. Just give me a cup. One cup of this nectar. I'll savor it. No, you get the drop. And then you gotta fill in everything. We have to turn to...
I need to hit, man.
We have to turn to people like Class Spectodon. No diss there. But
or
like
OG.
Class Spectodon, he did so much reading into it. And
yeah, he's cool.
I mean, his fucking name is Class Spectodon. And I'm not dissing him.
Yeah.
I know we have some beef, but I'm not dissing him. But like, he did a lot of hard work to figure out this shit. It's like Class Spectodon shouldn't exist. He shouldn't have to do all that stuff. Hussey should have come up with like a clear class spec stuff.
That's it. That is it. Sorry, Classy. We're aborting you right now. Get back in the womb.
You're canceled, Class Spectodon. All right. Love you, dude.
Even like Phoebe and her own editor Val, you've built things off of just scraps and scraps.
And it's
pretty impressive. But yeah, he shouldn't have to, because we should have that knowledge from the fucking person who wrote it.
But of course he goes into troll quadrants very deeply.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's the only thing that's really the only thing he really fully explained in detail. And that's why we can base so much fucking fanfiction off of it.
It's just like, the one thing he did is the one that was just shitting on the entire idea. It was the bad joke that people took seriously.
Like, the rules of Skya are so vague and weird, and like, the rules of Skya and Esperb are so weird, but they're so awesome. The whole idea is so absolutely original.
Yeah.
The capture logs, who would have thought that, like, all right, logical programming is now your fucking basic logic programming, not even, what is it, logic structures? That's your inventory. I've never seen a game use that, and that is so beautiful. I love it.
Fucking,
like,
everything in early Homestuck does at some point come back to some aspect of programming and computer science. Hussey knows his shit. I think he did some sort of work in that field for quite a while.
Oh yeah, Hussey knows his shit, definitely.
But as usual, he gets bored, and since it's not a funny meme like Problem Sleuth or Team Special Olympics, you're dragging along dead weight.
But he didn't have to. He really didn't have to do much more work to just give us a hell of a lot more, you know? He could, like, if he would have given us, at the end, he didn't have to do it now. If he, at the end of Homestuck, his epilogues, instead of were this pile of trash, ulcer creating trash, it could have just been, hey, I'm going to explain the class specs. I'm going to explain the capture log system. The strife decks. I'm going to explain how the consorts work, how the universe frog was created.
Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe then we'll find out about the little tiny universe frog.
Yeah, like where's the connection between knights and space players, you know? Like, we know there has to be a space and a time player, but also does that have to be a knight player?
Why didn't anyone use their Toblerone wish for this? Come on.
Oh, they did, and it got...
They did?
It got ignored.
Macon, his first wish was basically a world-building Bible.
But June Egbert and Transbriska came in.
That's important.
Oh, of course.
That's way more important.
I really actually, Harry Anderson would actually be a perfect trans character. Like, legitimately. They should have done that. Or made one of the Beforest Trolls a trans character. I actually do think Beforest Troll should have been a trans character.
Yeah.
They even kind of mentioned the concept of it, but even then, like, gender representation shouldn't really matter with Troll Society.
Yeah, they try to force too much. They try to force too much humanity onto Troll Society when, like,
space orcs.
They really are.
They are troglodyte, violent, fucking evil pieces of shit.
Yeah, if anything, it would just be trans blood.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
That would be cool. That actually would be really cool to think about, like how that would mess with.
I mean, realistically, they just end up dead.
They would just get shot. But what if it was a fucking? But what if it was like a violet blood? What if a violet blood did? A sea dweller said, "Oh, sorry, I'm actually a green blood."
That would be really cool to see. I'd love to read something like
Cut
that.
off your fins.
Yeah. You know what?
Holy shit! Yeah, or
that is a much better analogy and representation than a mass murderer being the poster child or whatever.
And then making John not a homosexual, Egbert just a girl suddenly.
I guess.
Spicy hot take.
Have they done anything with that yet, or is that just kind of like in the works?
It's just nebulous.
Nebulous bullshit, as always.
I hope it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just reading too much into June Egbert, but I hope that doesn't happen.
It shouldn't happen
just because I love John.
It makes Dad Egbert anything less than the perfect human being that he is.
And I don't want that. Screw that.
You're a fucking man grip.
He's a very good man.
Regarding, like, the world building and stuff, at least, like, to kind of call it back to Rose, I feel like Hussey dropping all of that ties into why Rose stalls out like an old car on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of her stuff is based around the horror terrors.
The horror terrors, Skaya itself, the mechanisms of fate. Initially, her whole thesis is this is all bullshit and it all needs to come down. And it's like she kind of accepts the fact that, well, this is it, I guess. I can't fight fate. Guess I'll just
That doesn't
do
seem
nothing.
very Rose-like.
What happened to the horror terrors? Like suddenly Lord English is killing them, and then, or was it Beck? Was it Beck or Lord English?
It was Beck.
Beck is killing them, and then they're gone. They're just gone. Rose's whole thing, was tearing down Skaya, and when they stopped talking about Skaya, Rose stops really being a character. Rose is kind of just there, and all she does is fluff.
Yeah.
That's
Because
sad.
her ultimate goal, like, to throw off the reins of fate is the game crushed her enough to where she's just like, well, I guess I can't actually do that. I'm not going to fight it.
And Vriska becomes more and more and more and more and more important. Gamzee becomes more important than Rose. Legitimately, though. Like, if Rose died, the plot wouldn't be... The only thing you would not know is, like, okay, Kanaya stops being relevant, but she already stopped being relevant, so...
They both stopped being relevant when they got together, which is really sad, because, like, they could have been, like, awesome plus awesome is more awesome,
double
but
awesome.
it didn't work out like that.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
sad.
whoa, guys, shh, quiet. Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is?
420.
It's time for shipping charts.
Oh, yeah! Let's go.
Not
Let's
again, Daddy.
Yeah, we're okay. All right. Welcome to our shipping chart extravaganza. All right. We're going to start off with Rose and Jade. Now, guys, what do you think about Rose and Jade as a ship?
Just fucking peachy.
Rose and Jade?
Yeah, Phoebe, what do you think about Rose and Jade?
I don't know. It's not a crack ship, but it's sort of like, I don't see it.
I have a hard time saying that Jade and Rose are even friends, let alone romantically interested in each other.
Just sort of tolerate each other.
Yeah, they really rarely talk.
They're like your friend who's a friend of someone else's friend.
Yeah.
It's like that relationship with them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the only time they've really talked was to talk about their other friends and like how to communicate with them.
Well, there was the part where Jade's just like, I feel like I have to tell you this, but something terrible happened to your mom. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Like it's obvious and established that they are friends, but it you don't get to see that dynamic, so it's hard to like.
Support.
Yeah.
they're definitely within the same friend group, but I've had friend groups where I'm not friends with everybody in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's how that does describe Rose and Jade's dynamic. So yeah, let's put that up in peach tier. Now, what about Durcest? What do we think about Durcest?
No, that's okay.
See, I think it's in the top 3 tiers instantly.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. I feel like Dave has really good chemistry with Rose, and they do canonically get together within the Doom timeline that Dave Sprite came from.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they never really treat each other like brother and sister. Like they mention it like a couple times, but they don't say anything about it. Or they mention it a couple times like, yeah, I'm your brother and sister, but they don't act on it. Like Jade and John act on it a lot more, and
Yeah,
Dirk
they've got
and
more.
Dirk and Roxy do too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just a question here. So this chart is for Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is just for Rose.
Okay.
In regards to Rose, how would you rate this relationship with this particular person?
Yeah. Also, just how they work out together and some of the art I've seen have really influenced me towards Durcest. I think it works a lot better. It just works really well. Angel made a particularly good comic about
that
Durcest.
one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, Roxy was involved, but it was still really good.
I see that.
You're the one who requested that one, didn't you?
I want to point out to listeners who may be very unsettled about this is a fictional story about people.
It isn't real, bro.
Yes.
We understand that incest is not a good thing.
I don't condone incest at all.
But as a ship, it's good. I mean,
I really like Dave and Rose's dynamic together, honestly. They have a weird, like, flirty dynamic with each other.
That's true. I don't know. I mean,
fair enough.
I get where you guys are coming from. I still think the incest part plays a big role in my head. So I don't know if I'd ship it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia.
Oh, no.
Oh,
They have good on-screen chemistry for a while, and then suddenly, oh, hey, yeah, you're actually brother and sister. Oh, what?
He even has a sword. Even has the hair.
I think I knew. And Luke's face is just like, what?
No! I think that's why he was saying no, not because, like, oh, shit, Darth Vader's my dad. Oh, shit, I kissed my sister. Anyway, Apple tier is where I'm setting this. Any big objections?
No.
I mean, if we want to knock it down some more because of the incest thing, we can settle on orange.
The Apple
Yeah, I
and
guess.
Dave.
Apple and Dave, though, yeah.
Yeah, Apple and Dave, though. Yep, it's Apple tier, official.
Yes.
Phoebe has a point. Apple and Dave, it has to work out like that.
Those are the wheels.
Now, how about Grimdorks, John and Rose?
Lemon.
Instant lemon tier for me.
Yeah, I've got to agree.
I like Grimdorks too.
Gee.
Despite Hussey saying I have horrible taste, he can go fuck himself.
I'm not a nervous investor, you fucking prick.
I mean, I would trust your taste over Hussey's. We know how good Hussey's taste is. Now, what are some things going towards Grimdorks being an awesome ship?
Well, I want to point out first of all that in our John episode, we did not put Rose in lemon tier for John, but John here, I agree, is lemon tier for Rose. That's because I think John is better for Rose than Rose is good for John.
Yeah, he's absolutely too good for her.
Because even when she's speaking in tongues and she's gone fully grimdark after her fucking mom dies, John's still there for her, comforting her. John doesn't care.
Yeah, he's just like, haha, yeah.
You're silly, Rose. I don't understand a word you're saying.
Our parents are dead.
Yeah, I remember when he said
Well,
that.
to be fair, he didn't know his parents were dead just yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Rose did.
Rose did, and he's just like, wow, I don't know what's up with you, Rose, but I'm sure we're going to figure it out.
That's actually such a refreshing way to think. I'm sure we're gonna. Wow, that really sucks, but we'll figure it out. That's a really refreshing way to think about stuff, though.
John has always been a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. John is probably one of the best characters.
I love John.
Every other character has always changed at some point. Like, I remember there was that part when John got angry about Con Air, and then Dave Sprite made fun of his fucking dad's death.
That's so...
And when he's freaking out, Jade's like, stop being dramatic. And it's like, dude, what you... No one's on his side.
John got done dirty. Addendum.
I'm actually not surprised that Jade's not too concerned about, someone close to you dying and then making light of them being dead, considering she lived her whole life without knowing her grandfather, basically, and everything. It's still a shit thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Infant
Jade
taxidermy.
is like an incel. A complete incel, though. I mean, what? She's like some sort of wild child. So society, maybe incel's not a good word, but she's like a wild child.
I know what you mean.
She has no sense of manners because nobody's taught her manners.
It's a fucking miracle she can even speak English, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John and Jade, their first time having dinner on the ship, she's just eating with her fucking feet, and he's like, I didn't think you were that savage.
Now, I have nothing to really detract from John Rose. Just the fact that, it's the stereotypical first boy, first girl ship, Yeah. It's like the Hermione and Harry ship and all that shit.
J.K. Rowling's been on record saying that actually was the better ship.
Yeah, but J.K. Rowling also is on record saying wizards shat their pants until the 1870s.
Anyway, John and Rose, right?
Yes, John and Rose. We keep getting off track. So John Rose, that's the only thing I can think that is actually bad for the ship. It's just it's the stereotypical first boy, first girl, but it works, man. If it works, it works. I don't care when it comes.
John, like I said, is very good for Rose. He's supportive, and he's not off-put by her interests. Not really. And he encourages her to be a little more silly and a little less serious, which is what she definitely needs.
Yeah. I just can't. There's no really arguments. It is a fucking lemon ship.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful lemon ship.
I don't think you understand what that word might actually mean, man.
I mean, Yeah, when we're referring to cars, a lemon's bad, but when referring to ships, a lemon is great.
Not about cars.
Yeah, but when you talk about lemon fanfics,
Is that a thing?
Oh, God. I hope. I don't want to know what it is.
you don't know the fanfic lingo of lemon and lime story? You know, I'm not going to talk about it.
No. You've opened the can of worms. You fucking close it yourself,
I
Saxville.
thought Phoebe was meant to be the oldest one here.
I'm the what now?
Oldest one here.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah,
You know,
but Phoebe's the oldest, but Phoebe's also the least mature.
It's very true.
It's very obvious.
I'm Phoebe. I suck.
Okay, I'll look up lemon lime ships later. Fuck, I don't want to.
well, it's a fanfic term. It's more like about what the fanfics are about, which is sex, basically.
Is it like lemon party type?
No,
No?
not that kind of fucking lemon.
Okay,
Not that kind of lemon.
good. Good. All right. How about Dirk Rose? What do we think about Dirk Rose?
No.
I'm with that no.
A big old peach. Now, here's the thing. It could easily turn into... I could easily see there's a bunch of fanfics that could come out where it's kind of like a really sadistic daddy dom type
God.
situation.
Just
Yeah.
1,000
Like
fucking ships.
the full control slavery.
I mean,
Dom.
Homestuck 2 gives you plenty of
Yeah.
ammo for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only recently where that's a big thing.
It's a shame, too, because Dirk has a lot in, common with Rose. I think that's because she takes after him. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is her father.
yeah. Also, Dirk's gay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta be consistent here.
We gotta be consistent.
Dirk is not a heterosexual.
I'd give it a big fat fucking peach. I mean, just because there is ammo there doesn't mean it's good ammo.
Isn't Dirk one of the few characters to actually be confirmed to be just gay?
Yes, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just gay.
And he's also a dickhead.
He is a homosexual.
He's also the worst character in Homestuck, and
No. So many people are gonna be like, these guys are fucking awful.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. It should have been Dirk.
Should have been Dirk.
Imagine killing Slick for this bastard.
I mean, any death in Homestuck, no matter who it is, when it is, whatever, it should have been Dirk.
It's sad because I like a bit of Dirk in Act 6, especially when he felt like he failed everybody and he floated out into the glitchdom to just die. I was like, man, that's sad and that sucks.
Yeah, Dirk used to be a fairly cool person.
He used to be okay. He used to be okay. And then the epilogue, not even the epilogue, basically towards late Act 6 and then the epilogues in Homestuck 2 have made me hate him so much because they just ruined any good thing he had is gone. Ugh.
Remember when he learned to be less of a controlling dickhead?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the
Yeah.
point of him learning things from AR? AR's
Exactly.
I'm you, and he's micromanaged not only himself but his friends, and Dirk's this sucks and I hate it. But then he's just no, never mind. I'm just gonna do that now.
Real people don't have arcs.
It only sucks because I wasn't good enough at it yet.
This is making me sad.
Okay. How about let's go into the next ship. Daddy Dom aside.
We're gonna talk about Roxy, right?
Yeah, why don't we do fuck it. Why don't we do Roxy Rose? What do we think?
No, please.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Should we just leave that off the tier list? Is that not even a ship? Is there anything? Have they interacted at all?
Yeah, they've interacted.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
it's honestly been more Roxy treating her like a mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
So as a romantic ship, it's still probably peach tier.
Yes. They don't.
Yeah.
They are not romantically interested in each other, but they have the shared situation of seeing each other as their representative mother in a way, which is kind of weird, but
And of course, that's always hot.
You thought the fucking incest was bad.
God damn it, Phoebe. Okay, so we're not really too much to talk about with their relationship besides they both have severe mommy issues and they kind of fill the void in each other, kind of.
Does Roxy have mommy issues, or is it more just she never had a mom?
She has people issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has issues.
She has issues. That's why she drinks.
Yeah.
Remember when that was her
the-
character trait?
Being Dunk.
A wonk.
Ask Dirk. Hey, anyone remember Ask Dirk Lalonde?
Oh,
I try not to.
I don't actually know who is that. Was that like a Tumblr?
It was a Tumblr made by Crablouse, and it was a very bad. It was a very bad Tumblr. All right. Now, what about I was about to say Rose and Rose. How about Rose and Jane? Is there anything there?
No.
that's
Anything?
ugly. Oh, no. God. No.
If that's a ship, it's definitely a crack ship.
I can see like a one night stand.
I mean, yeah. Rose doesn't seem to be like a one-night stand type person. Rose doesn't seem to be like a sexual person. She seems to be demisexual, if anything.
Does she?
Like she's.
I always thought she was sort of flirty.
She's flirty, yeah. I always.
Well, like, yeah, I guess she is flirty. I would say like she doesn't develop sexual feelings until she's developed romantic feelings.
Yeah.
I know from Jasper's, I should say, that she flirts pretty heavily with Jane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I could put. You know what? Now that from that, I think I could put that in line. I think I'd put that in line. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she flirts with Jane with her when she actually can let loose with herself. She flirts with Jane, and Jane reciprocates pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good ship, but there's something there.
There's a little something there. So yeah, lime's good.
Limey. What about Jake and Rose?
No.
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 Is there any?
I don't see anything.
He is too manly for her.
Too much meat.
I don't think she could. I don't think she could handle what Jake would put down.
I agree with that.
Like, imagine Jake's firm, round ass, just giving Rose a lap dance. Just like think about that and how badly she would react. Like put the super nerdy girl from school in a male strip club, and that's how Rose and Jake would interact, and it would be pretty.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
fucking hilarious.
I have seen that though.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
not fun. The nerdy girl from school was taken to a strip club once. Of course I went, and oh my god, she did not take it well. We didn't stay long. All right. Why don't we go down the list of the trolls, and then we could just say if they haven't interacted, just nah. Has Aradia and Rose interacted?
Once or twice.
Yeah,
Anything really to talk about there?
nah.
Let's just leave it off. Tavros and Rose? Tavros?
Tavros.
Tavros. That is a
no.
great ship name, and yet there is like nothing there.
That's because
Nope.
not a lot of people like Tavros. Or Tavros.
That's what you get for being obedient.
What about Solix and Rose?
Solix hasn't really talked with anybody who isn't in his close friend group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Solix, yeah. Nepeta and Rose?
Nepeta talked to Rose, just asked if she could talk to Jasper Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
Jasper and Nepeta.
Carcat and Rose. Now there's actually something where they have
I don't.
they've at least interacted.
Yeah, they've interacted, but I don't see them even.
Being interested in each other like that.
Yeah.
Peachy.
Yeah. They've definitely interacted before, but I don't feel like they have any chemistry together to actually have anything happen.
Yeah, that's why I think some of these Aradia and Rose does not. It's just NA or it does not apply.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a DNA because they don't have any. They don't have enough to go on. If it's a ship, it's a crack ship because there's nothing there. Or is that what a crack ship is? Or it's just
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
Just one that
it's-
makes no sense.
If I had to say, with Nepeta and Rose, would they actually get along? If they had time to interact with each other, my response would probably be, no. She might find Nepeta really annoying, and Nepeta likewise would probably think Rose is a little too standoffish and stuffy.
So yeah, I'd put Carcat at Peach.
Yeah.
Peach, there's nothing there. All right, Terezi.
I noticed you skipped somebody there.
I didn't skip shit. Terezi and Rose. Now that's actually lately they have had some good interactions, and it seemed a decent black. I could smell some black rum there.
Oh yeah, they've been having. Well, let's not count the fucking Homestuck 2 stuff, maybe, or should we? I don't know.
Nah, we gotta count that.
I guess so.
It is part of the non-canonical canon, and this is a whole. It's part of the heaping pile of bullshit that is the Homestuck fandom, and
Well,
it is our job to sift through it.
I think what's such a freaking unfortunate thing is just how we don't really get to see Terezi interact with Rose on the Meteor often, even though I feel like her personality and Rose's personality would clash, and that would be interesting and fun. We didn't really get to see any of that until like Homestuck 2, basically.
We don't get to see them, period.
And they despite Rose speaking with talking like a marshmallow, and Terezi being a little too wordy than Terezi was wordier than normal, and Rose was just a fucking marshmallow when it comes to her wording. I did like their chemistry, but it was a lot of this like intellectual fencing that was like too smart for its own good.
Trying to be like Kanaya.
What is a god to a non? It felt like the whole "what is a god to a non-believer" bullshit.
Yeah.
Someone just replaced Rose's brain with a fucking thesaurus.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I felt there was some black there, and they physically got into it. And, I mean, the whole part where Rose pinned Terezi down, and Terezi was being a bit of a brat towards her. I could see some like a brat tamer black rom relationship there. You know, where Terezi's the brat. I'd feel like Terezi normally would be a dom, but because Rose is even more of a dom just because of her sheer physical power at this point, she's now the ultimate self plus robot.
In normal Homestuck, though, I feel like they could have had something really cool going on if it was written, and if Terezi was allowed to really, interact with her and not just have Rose be drunk most of the time and Terezi be separated from everybody so she could get on with clown bullshit.
That is probably one of the worst ships in Homestuck.
Yeah.
But it was bad on purpose.
Yeah, it was bad on purpose. So
Shame it ended up fucking up both of
I
them.
think that could follow that. I think that's like orange or lime tier to me. Terezi Rose.
I'd say orange.
Orange.
Like solid middling.
Yeah, it's a ship. There's stuff there. Now, what about Vriska?
Vriska, yeah. Vriska. It's all about Vriska.
Raspy.
Vriska,
What
I'd probably
about-
put lime.
Yeah.
Just because, again, it's sort of a Jane situation, I think.
There's some stuff there, but not enough, and I don't think they clash very.
Man,
Don't you remember?
Rose and Vriska going at it would be really cool to see, except, we didn't get that after the Vriskagram, where Rose is just like, I don't really like Vriska, but I have to give her props because here we are, and I'm just like, oh, I hate this.
Oh. Vriska cannot be wrong after, the end of Act 5. Those are just the rules.
She helped me stop drinking by just saying to stop.
Just stop it.
Yep, that's how it works. Vriska did nothing wrong.
Deal with it, incels.
If you don't agree, you are pig shit.
Fucking pig shit.
1,500 signatures.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Keeps getting higher.
Now, what about Equius and Rose? Is there anything there? Does not apply.
No.
There was one time Equius saw her destroy something and he got a hard on, basically.
He gets a hard on constantly.
Well, not really. He sweats and shit.
Yeah. I mean,
That's basically the same thing.
His sweating's like the visual metaphor for it, just like in anime where someone getting a nosebleed is a metaphor for having a hard-on.
Equius is the biggest pervert in Homestuck. Far and away, the biggest pervert. But he represses it so much, and Equius is a great character.
Fucking great, man.
It's also pretty tame, honestly.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. I'm just completely desensitized at this point.
So I don't think there's much there. Gamzee Rose, got anything there?
Get in the bin, clown. Get in the fucking bin.
There's been enough interaction there because I think there's some interaction, but I would put that at
With
fucking Peachy.
Yeah. That's a big no for me.
Yeah, just Peach. I don't really have much to talk about with that.
Yeah.
Eridan and Rose.
That's a crack ship.
Crack ship does not apply. Let's not even put it on.
They have spoken.
Rose is like the reason why he gets his wand and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But Rose doesn't even really care, and she explodes his computer after he bugs her.
Yeah, just take the magic and fuck off.
Wait, does Eridan go after her to hit on her or just for magic? I forgot.
He hit on her like later.
He wants to prove that magic isn't real, and she blows up his computer on him. So it's all, he wants that black romance, and he's just like, yes, perfect, finally.
Oh wait, that's right. Rose didn't give him the one. That was
No, he asked Kanaya to make him the wand so that he could go against Rose in this like sort of like attempt at pitch stuff, and Kanaya's just like, lol, okay.
Well, yeah. I just for a second I thought Rose.
God, Eridan is so much better than I thought he was. I remember him as.
Oh yeah. I was rereading Homestuck. He was pretty okay.
I like Eri.
Taken from us a bit too soon, really.
That said, like, Rose doesn't really care what this guy has to say, and she explodes his computer almost immediately. Like, I like the pitch relationship dynamic that could have came from it, but at the same time, he's like a blip.
He just gets blown off by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Until he goes in his little school shooting.
Yeah, he plays the pumped up kicks.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to say for a pitch ship, Lime, maybe, or Peach.
I'd say...
Yeah, I mean, there's there's enough there to do something with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say...
Lion.
Yeah, give him a little bit of a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
I always did want to see him meet with Rose, though. It was really, like, disappointing that he died before that could happen.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Hussey just went on the killing spree just to clear the characters because he had too many to deal with and too many to write.
Yeah, and then he added in 4 more anyway.
I think he did that because he knew if Solix and Dave actually stayed in the same place for too long, their selves would turn into a singularity and destroy Homestuck.
The pretentious asshole black hole.
Mm-hmm.
It would consume the green sun. Do we have anything with Fef?
No.
I don't even think they talked.
Does not apply.
Does not apply.
She didn't talk to Rose at all.
She didn't do anything. She just fucked on Eridan and fucked Solix. That's all that matters. And a horn pile. That's it. And then she died.
And that's it. Well, one of the things that she did do was make it so the dream bubbles existed. But then, Aradia took over her spot to help people who are in the dream bubbles, like how she did with Jade initially. So rest in peace, Fefri. You got cucked out of everything.
Yep.
Fefri is the true cuck.
Aradia just took everything from her.
Arania? Anything there? Light? There's some light stuff.
Little bit.
I don't see much.
Probably Peach tier then.
Peach, yeah. Just another. There could be some stuff there. Mina and Rose never really put anything in there, did they?
No, I don't think they really interacted with each other.
Does not apply.
Oh.
All right.
And finally, the special one.
Finally,
Doc Scratch.
The one that's going to get us cancelled.
Lemon!
I'm feeling lemon here.
There goes any chance of getting employed by What Pumpkin, huh?
Yeah. Doc's, but that is that's a ship.
It's fucked.
There is so much to unravel in that, and it is all good.
It's like,
or not. No. It's all horrible, but like it's juicy as fuck. It is just because the ship itself is like terrible for Rose. It's it is nasty. There's so many weird implications, but when it comes to just like juiciness, that is a juicy fucking ship.
I want to point out for this, and specifically, this is like the problem that we have with Dirk, except it actually exists in Homestuck, and it makes me mega uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Scratch, she's just got that fucking vibe.
That's why I'm putting it in an orange tier.
Yeah, pretty stout.
It's a stout orange, maybe apple.
Apple's the problematic tier, I noticed.
All right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. It is bad. It is horrible. But just because, like, the ship is not good for either of the characters, it makes you uncomfortable. It's not, like, it's taboo as fuck. It doesn't make it a bad ship. It's a very juicy, well-written, nuanced ship.
Yeah,
Am I right, though?
Absolutely. Plus, he's just at his best when he's writing complete and utter just fucking bastard villains.
I put it up there. It's up there.
Yeah, it's pretty up
it's
there.
It's not lime. Orange at the lowest. I don't think it's quite John Lemon.
I'm okay with Apple, honestly. That way I can joke that Durcest and Doc Scratch are on the same tier.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's very one-sided. Well, actually, I feel like a lot
It's
of it
got the
can
daddy
be,
dom type.
Well, I think it could be misconstrued. Like, if we think of what happens in the story and how they are, if Rose really was put next to Doc Scratch, I can't think of him doing anything sexual at all. Because he really didn't actually care about that. Like, he acted, it sounded like a perverted uncle and shit, but it was like he was talking about a cat, you know?
It was very groomy. It was very nasty, but it wasn't
his intention to be sexual, you know? It was very much like, if she was with him, he'd probably just
beat her with a broom.
Yeah, I mean,
but just because it's not his intention doesn't mean like there isn't enough juice there for people to go like, oh, I feel that.
I guess I guess I'm thinking of it in a story thing when I should be thinking of it in a fandom thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do we want to just skip Rosemary?
Why would we skip Rosemary when Rosemary's like the entirety of Rose in part 6?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
fine.
canon,
We can't
isn't
skip it. All right, but we've made the joke long enough.
I just don't understand. I don't understand people who ship Rose and Kanaya still because it's canon. Maybe I just don't understand how shipping works because I don't really look into that stuff. But like, I always thought shipping was like, oh, these two would be good together. But like, if it's canon,
yeah. Let's just okay. I thought like I was trying to go with the joke, but like let's just skip Rosemary, but we can't. All right. Oh shit, guys, we forgot Rosemary.
Oh fuck! I mean, just
Well, I'm sure we're not the first people to forget about Rosemary.
labs.
I forgot about it, and I didn't want to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
It's the worst fucking shit. Shut up, Phoebe.
we forgot. Oh, darn, Rosemary.
She's finally gone senile.
All right, where are we putting it? This is the trunk beast in the room. What do we think?
Put it in the official pile.
Can we add a 6th tier?
We don't have another fruit though. Crepe tier.
Yeah, grape tier.
That was real.
Yeah, but
I
do
think
we
it
have
was.
the little grape icon though?
I don't think we do yet.
F.
All right, we could expand this, but all right, Rosemary.
I wish I could split Rosemary into Act 1 through 5 Rosemary and then Act 6 Beyond Rosemary.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How about? Okay. Let's just go down the list. Phoebe, what is your feelings on Rosemary?
They had a lot of chemistry in Act 5. They had a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff, and it really did lead up to a relationship. Like, it felt right. I think it was executed a bit weirdly, and it was vague in a lot of areas for some reason. But, like, as a ship, I mean, I personally think it's pretty solid, just because it wasn't sudden, and reading in the story, like when I was reading Homestuck, I was like, these two would be like really good together. I don't know. I think it's lemon.
Yeah, I felt the whole like the whole build up to the ship was great, and then when they actually got together, when finally Rose drunkenly made out with Kanaya, which was actually terrible and really kind of freaky.
If you've ever been in that situation,
teenagers.
you know it's not actually as pleasant as you might imagine.
Yeah.
Alcohol breath is fucking something else.
Well, especially getting hit on by a drunk person while you're sober is not fun.
Oh yeah.
Getting hit on while you're both drunk and into it, nice.
It's like, is this okay? Can I? Or no, it's wrong. And yeah, probably not. Good idea.
Kanaya at the time even wasn't digging Rose the way she was. I always got the impression reading through that part that she's just on the cusp of breaking up with Rose because she doesn't like how she is.
But yeah. When she starts spiraling
then
into
that happens.
Yeah, it felt a little like, oh, I'm in this relationship and I do care and love this person, but we're also stuck here, so I can't like break up because that would be weird and awkward, and I'm a teenager.
I literally can't leave.
and also, Kanaya's probably afraid that she'll be alone.
Oh,
She's got pretty much
What
no
a
one else
baby.
at that point.
Who else?
Aside from Carcat, maybe.
Who else could she go to?
Carcat.
Though, yeah, but Dave Cat, man.
Yeah, well,
Fuck that.
I've always wondered how Terezi and Kanaya would work out, honestly, because Terezi's dangerous herself.
they're the Vriska survivors.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Huge bitch survival meetup. Just a group therapy session about how you've been fucked over by a complete narcissist.
I just
What are you talking about? Vriska did nothing wrong.
I just don't get why a lot of people don't really talk about how Terezi and Kanaya potentially could have something together, since Terezi fills some of Kanaya's like interests. Now, Kanaya might not fill Terezi's like inherent interest, but she needs someone who's like good for her.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to Rosemary, I really like their build-up in part 5. I loved their chemistry, and I thought them getting together would be pretty hype. But then they actually got together, and then both of them stopped being characters, so I stopped giving a shit about both of them.
The only thing that I can remember is like, this is my wife. And she is the mother of my species. She's the mother of her species or some shit. And she's radiant. It's like, oh yeah, that's something. But like,
I almost forgot you two loved each other for a moment.
they never interacted at all for so long. Like, it just kind of felt like they were together because they were the token lesbian couple. This was the gay representation that we needed. I mean, yes, it was,
boring.
but you didn't do anything with it.
Two Daria clones.
They both like lost their personalities on what made them fun. Rose became like drunk and stuff, and Kanaya just kind of stands around awkwardly going, gosh, I really wish I wasn't here right now.
My feet hurt.
I wish Vriska was here.
I wish I was back at my hive sewing. Gosh.
It's awkward and it's weird because I like Kanaya being snarky and kind of joking around with some of the other trolls. Like, I miss situations like where she kept bothering Solix to help her with her freaking computer, and he throws that thing at her.
Oh, yeah, the Pasta Quest.
Oh no, I'm talking about like
Oh
with the
no, the
viewpoint.
fucking... Oh god.
He actually literally throws like the F12 key or something like that at her head.
It's all fucking merging together. I've become a Homestuck boomer. I can't remember anything.
I don't even care. I just don't care. Here's what I think about Rosemary. I liked it when I was like in high school, reading it, watching it develop, and then I forgot it existed, and I just don't care about them anymore. Like, there's nothing there. And then, like, Kanaya's going after Rose in Homestuck 2, and it's just... it feels like Kanaya's doing it because she has to. It doesn't feel like Kanaya,
like, God.
Yeah, and the fucking Rose just straight up abandons her. Is that love?
How much of
That's
a
not
fucking
love.
simp do you have to be? Like, God.
I mean, Kanaya is the biggest simp in all of
She
Homestuck.
actually is a simp. She's simp for Vriska. She's simping for Rose.
There's even shit
Where's that
about her being like a moth and a light, like literally an orbiter.
Oh god, yeah, she has a thing for light characters, bruh. She's got a light, and then yeah, she's a vampire. She's got a thing for the light, bro.
Say the line,
There's just-
Kanaya. Girls, but
there's
woman's got
no-
the best pussy.
There's just no chemistry. Like, there's nothing, no payoff.
What sucks?
No, there's.
They had chemistry too.
It's like, man, it's like you're giving me the lollipop. You know, let me lick the lollipop, and then I don't get the crunch, man. Let me bite into it at the end.
They just became
Fuck
joined
no.
at the fucking end.
You bite your lollipops? What?
Well, it depends on if they're a dum dum, yeah.
Well,
Like, if it's a dum dum, if it's a dum dum, I will, like, after I eat it for a little while, like after, you know, like the orbit around the dum dum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
After I get through that, I'll bite it.
that's fair. They are pretty
I
tiny.
usually wait until it's like really tiny.
Same with the Tootsie Pop, like a 1, a 2.
Okay,
a
if there's
3.
something inside of it, that's different.
Yeah, but a dum dum, I'll bite. I don't want to suck on this sucker forever. And when it comes to like the big round lollipops that you have to lick, I don't even want to fucking touch those, because they'll just get nasty.
I know. Who the fuck? I've never.
They just attract flies.
Yeah, when I was a kid,
Exactly.
When I was a kid, I got one finally, and I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be awesome!" And it was the worst experience.
Yeah.
It gets
just-
all over
It
your
tastes that good.
fucking hands and your face. God.
And like, I tried licking. I have a pretty bushy beard right now.
Oh, no.
And I tried licking one, and I tried licking it, and then I just got beard hair all over it.
Ah!
And I was just like, oh. And my beard's sticky afterwards. I'm just like, all right, you know what? Fuck this.
Beards just don't
I
work.
want. Nah, beards. I like my beard. I mean, it acts as a really good strainer for when I drink soup.
Ugh.
So yeah, the Rose and Kanaya are like those big novelty lollipops that you look at and go, wow, that looks great. And then you enjoy a few licks, and then you realize that it's a big mess.
God damn, that's a good one. I like that. It's going in the folder.
I come up with some good metaphors sometimes.
I think when I do the bite-sized clips, that's going to be one of them.
Awesome.
All right. Okay. We need an official tier list. Where are we ranking?
Well, Phoebe said that's a lemon tier.
I'd still put it lemon.
It's lemon. Part of it is lemon, and then part of it is fucking peach.
Yeah,
Orange
that's like the
star.
difficult thing. If I had to like pick, I really loved Kanaya's, let's see, her dynamic with Rose in Act 5 and in Candy Epilogue.
Yeah.
Candy, Kanaya, and Rose are actually freaking good. Like, really good. It reminded me, I was like, yeah, that's right. Kanaya and Rose used to be really good. What happened?
Apple. Let's put it apple.
Well, no, I wouldn't put it apple just because
Fair enough, yeah.
that's putting on the same pedestal of like Durcest. And I really would just put it lemon, honestly, because it did.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
It was. We got to actually
God.
see it, and it was enjoyable.
All right.
Yeah.
Orange. It is the quintessential ship.
Now, I want to point out, though, that she is a lower lemon.
Yes.
We all see who's standing tall at the front of the line there.
A little too ripe.
We all know who's in charge here.
Yeah, John just wins.
John wins by doing absolutely nothing. Except be a good boy.
I guess we got it. Kanaya lemon tier.
Kanaya kind of looks like she's extending from Buck Scratch's neck.
God, imagine.
He does.
Yeah, instead of Lord English popping out of his head, it's Kanaya.
It's just a tiny
It's just
Kanaya.
Kanaya.
Lives inside her head. Lives inside his head.
All right. I think this is a solid tier list. Out of all the characters that matter, we have them mostly list. Rose has some good ships, but a lot of them are bad, and then just about 7 don't even apply.
Yeah.
So 7 of the trolls.
Wait, you know who we forgot? Beck Noir.
What?
They would.
We've covered
Just saying
incest.
random shit.
We've covered child grooming. Want us to get into fucking bestiality now? Come on.
No.
All right, Phoebe.
Well,
you be careful.
I
I'm
think-
taking
I
you off
think
the
Phoebe
podcast.
has a
Symbol
point.
next to my name.
Phoebe has a big point there, and the point
I do?
is that Beck Noir wanted to skewer her with a sword.
That's
He
He
totally
wanted to
Black
do that
Lewd.
to everyone. Fucking
Quite lewd.
slut.
All right.
Is that how Black Roms talk to each other? You want to die? Yeah, you. I bet you want to die, slut.
I like. If it's not, I want it to be.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go back. I think this trash segment's over. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled frat podcast. Alrighty.
All right,
Right.
I'm Phoebe. I'll meet you on
Bye-bye.
the other side.
Yeah, see you there.
Oh my god, I said 420 and my husband handed me the weed. He's a darling.
All right. So shipping chart time. All right. Fan base shipping and damaging characters. All right. I think I got a good segue. Well, how about now that we're talking about Rose's ship, let's go into just how fan base shipping damages characters. We talked a little bit about this while we were talking about Rose and Kanaya's relationship, but let's really get into it now.
Shipping just turns the characters into mush. It's like the only aspect of their personality anymore, the person that they're attached to.
You know what? I gotta say something though. That's kind of relevant to real life though. I guess because my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful girlfriend who I've been with for 5 years, she just jumped around the corner and just went
Oh.
ta-da, smiling.
Oh, that's so cute.
We have kind of become one.
Oh,
like
yeah.
basically I treat her as just another head and she treats me as just a jar opening machine. But yeah, but I guess it does ruin characters because it's ruined my character.
You still enjoy her company and talk to her. That's way different from what's going on in the comic.
Yeah, they don't even talk to each other. Like Rose and Kanaya don't talk to each other at all, really. They talk a little bit in the epilogues, but it's like, eh.
There's like
None
a
of
whole
it's-
point in Act 6 where she's considering breaking up with Rose, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
The alcoholism arc. The
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
respectful and accurate arc.
I didn't like that arc, like, at all. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't a big fan. I didn't like it that much.
Did you not like it because it was bad writing, or did you not like it because you just didn't like the way the characters were going?
I didn't like it because of both of those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It was just bad.
That's one of the few things for me that like toes the line between bad and actually offensive.
Yeah.
I am like the opposite of an easily offended person, but fuck it.
I remember when that kiss, that drunken kiss Rose has with Kanaya is supposed to be like this big triumphant moment, but I remember
No, it
sitting
was just
there and I was
sad.
like, that's kind of awkward, isn't it? Because Kanaya just doesn't really want to deal with her anymore.
Yeah. Like if you've ever dealt with alcoholism in some aspect, it's not a fun thing to read.
You know, I honestly interpreted that entirely differently, but I was raised in a household where there was effectively no substance abuse. It was like substances were villainized in my household and in my family, so I really didn't have any gauge of that. So I just thought like, oh yeah, this is the triumphant moment.
That's
But
fine.
now that you guys talked, you said like, oh wow, this is actually horrible.
She's just making a sloppy ass of herself. It's still pretty funny.
Kanaya just kind of goes along with it because, like, in my opinion, she's just too much of a doormat to go,
Yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
don't want this.
My actual problem only comes in with like the end. Fucking risk-o-gram.
Yeah.
No. I don't
Beating
want to be
Rose
reminded
until-
of that.
Let's just beat Rose until she stops being an alcoholic. Isn't that how they fucking stopped alcohol? stop drug users in the past. Like they just shock them until they stopped using drugs.
Yeah, that's how conversion therapy works too.
Yeah, let's shock you until you stop being gay.
Uh-oh. Is Homestuck pro conversion therapy? Is that what we're trying to say here? Uh-oh.
Risk a
Now-
69 volt
all right.
circuit.
Now, fan fiction idea. It's a dark fan fiction, and it is the
I'll turn on the light.
It's the turn on the light. It is the game over universe. But imagine like instead of they didn't fuck up game over and they actually just won the game. Doesn't matter how they won the game, but they managed to win the game, but Rose is still an alcoholic and still with Kanaya, and how it turns into like a really shitty abusive relationship.
I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rose is or like not abusive like Rose is beating the shit out of Kanaya, but like abusive like Rose is just taking advantage of Kanaya all the time.
Yeah. Like that wouldn't even be like a uninteresting story. It'd be sad, but it'd be better than what happened, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of just glossed over the fact that Rose has substance abuse issues. They literally killed off the Rose with substance abuse issues and said, all right, we're done with it. Vriska smacked her.
Slap on the wrist, now she's cured.
It's like, come on. Alcoholism is something people struggle with for their whole lives, so you literally fucking murder them.
It's about as like tactful as how Roxy just goes, yeah, I just stopped drinking. Easy.
Oh fuck, I completely forgot about that. Roxy just said, yeah, fuck it. No fuck. I have seen, I learned it later in my life, I have seen a man physically go through with alcohol withdrawals. My manager was an extremely bad alcoholic, and he was trying to stop, failing. He was getting,
scary.
but it was so bad that he couldn't drink. He couldn't go half of an 8-hour shift without drinking a pint of rum.
Cold turkey.
Or maybe not a pint, half pint of rum.
Cold turkey can just kill people straight up.
Yeah, there was a time where he can't leave the store, so he get the delivery drivers to get him rum from the liquor store, and this time he didn't have a 21-year-old delivery driver, so I saw him getting shivers, like he was freaking the fuck out about the fact that he couldn't get alcohol until the store closed.
Yeah,
it was horrible, and they just none of that. Roxy's just sober.
I feel like it's less bad with Roxy. It was played slightly less seriously, at least to start with.
They just skimmed it over. They took the real problem.
I'm not demanding they take everything seriously, because that goes against literally everything we've been complaining about, but have some tonal consistency.
Roxy stops drinking because she realizes that it's kind of a problem for her. I remember one of the shittiest things I ever read in Act 6 was where Jane says that she liked her better when she drank.
Yeah, that was not good.
Oh god, yeah.
That was fucking awful.
But it is framed as Roxy, trying some self-improvement, and maybe we don't need to see all the nasty details of that.
Did Roxy get pissed off when Jane said that?
I think so. She was a little upset about it. It's been a while since I read that part, but I remember reading that and going, holy shit, what a bitch.
That's like a friendship ender right there.
I liked you better when you were struggling with substance abuse.
Jesus
when you were just
Christ,
a stupid bitch. When you're stupid as in you're just a stupid idiot the whole time because you're just
drunk off your ass 24/7, and somehow that makes you better.
That's because it probably made her feel better.
Oh, probably, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Jane's horrible. The entire Jane podcast will just be Jane's a bitch, and that's it. It'll just be Jane's a bitch? Yeah, Jane's a bitch. Agreed? Agreed. All right, podcast over.
Unironically, let's
that
do
would be freaking hilarious.
All right,
we gotta cut this part out so we don't spoil it.
But
yeah, right. Nobody's gonna be spoiled by that.
But going back to the original topic that we've digressed from because we have the attention span of a fucking snail.
One snail, all of us, just the same
single snail. Our brains are incapable of staying on topic, but
at least it's still Homestuck related.
Hey, at least we're a snail and not a slug. Come on.
Yeah, we have a fancy
so
look on the brighter side. Yeah, we got a show.
I'm a nudibranch. I'm a nudibranch. Shut up. God, that's such a bad joke. All right. Yes, Rose and Kanaya started dating and their character development stopped. And that happened to also Carcat and Dave.
Yeah, it
And
did. Big time.
Dave Cat sucks. Shout out to @DaveCatSucks on Twitter, the greatest Twitter profile out there. All right. Anyway, Dave Cat stopped. Rose stopped. What are other good ships that just kind of ended everything? Oh,
Terezi got fucked over by ships.
Yeah, Terezi.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like
Okay,
even
actually,
like before
Terezi-
game over. You know, if you take before and after with all the character like relationships, ships, quote quote quote. It's still like the same problem where characters have great chemistry until they officially are together in some way, and then it's just like Hussey
It's
goes,
because
"Fuck."
Then he gives up.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know.
Hussey
Has
just,
Hussey been in a relationship to know what it's like?
he's a married
Yes.
man
Yes.
now.
He has to have been.
Yeah.
That's
He's
crazy.
married?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he married to? Is it Iggy Piggy?
No.
It's someone who's very, very much younger than he is.
I wish it was fucking Piggy because, like, we
That'd be
could
awesome.
just shitpost that into oblivion, but
That would be great. That would be the greatest. Oh, Iggy Piggy gets the community to send him a horse dildo, and now they're married. I bet at some point Iggy, if that I
that
mean,
would
I'm
be
pretty
so
sure.
sweet.
Yes, and then we get to think about the fact that Hussey has probably used said horse dildo on Iggy Piggy.
oh god.
I
But
don't
no,
want
I
to
think
think about
it's-
that.
It's one of the flags.
You're thinking about it now, though.
No, I'm staring at Caliborn's face for world building. He's keeping my mind pure right now.
It's stuck in my brain. All right.
But yeah, it
Fuck.
just feels like he's no good at writing relationships whatsoever.
Now, I will say Terezi and Gamzee's relationship, that was actually a good character arc for Terezi.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But nothing happened for Gamzee.
Well, that's because Gamzee stopped being a character.
He was never
Gamzee
a
is just-
character.
Gamzee is a honk.
It was the nail in the fucking coffin for any hope of him actually doing anything. That wasn't.
Because, like,
Haha, clown.
Gamzee had a decent... Gamzee stopped being a character after he became a Moirail with Carcat.
Yeah.
He did have, like, he had an actual arc. Like him becoming sober, him going insane. And then Shooshpap happens, and then Shooshpap happens, and he's just like... He's literally just a plot device now.
Imagine
What does
if-
Hussey
Gamzee
have?
stops being a character and he starts being like thing to move the plot. He was a
Yeah.
he was a machination of
An immortal
the plot.
moving
in
clown.
the commentaries, Hussey basically says he planned that. And to that I say, shut the fuck up, you lying boomer bastard. Like
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you
read
see
it
nice
all the way
Gamzee
through.
here. That's all a lie.
Did Gamzee have a fucking, you know, his whole fucking quote unquote quote big quotes like like the TJ Henry Yoshi thing? Was his character arc in the epilogues where he was going through quote redemption unquote?
Ugh.
Did he actually change as a character, or did he just was he just more of the same plot moving character? Like some sort of stooge to someone more powerful?
He's more like background flavor, in my opinion, where he's just kind of there to make everything slightly
Background
slightly shittier. But at least he talks.
I mean, he really does remind me. I hate him so much because he does remind, like, the way they described his smell is also how remember how I said there was juggalos who would crash my parents' youth outreach program?
Yeah.
They get the trashy, shitty, fucking Midwestern juggalo down. They do a good job at describing a shitty juggalo. Because they smelled. And I felt really, I honestly feel really bad for those kids because they just didn't have a home life. They were like 16 and they smelled, they were assholes, they were terrible. And it's like, if only their parents were actually good. And my parents could fill they came to my parents to fill the void that their parents couldn't give them. And they just,
Yeah, that's pretty
That is
sad.
sad.
it's a very sad situation, but they were horrible.
Yeah.
They were just absolutely, they're demons.
Poor asshole
effectively.
kids.
But Gamzee Gamzee is like them, but it's not like tragic or anything. He's just, well, actually, no, he kind of is like that because his Lussus was never there.
He has no dad.
Okay, I'm rethinking Gamzee now.
Oh no,
Is he-
it's not okay to say that Gamzee,
That's illegal.
It's actually
You
illegal.
will get arrested.
Kate Mitchell, she's gonna drive and kill you.
Gamzee is Gamzee kind of started as tragedy, but since they never referenced the fact that if they kept referencing the fact that or if they referenced it at least once that Gamzee literally had no one to bring him up. He was completely alone and he fucking fell into substance abuse early. That'd be cool, but no, he's just honk.
Imagine
Yeah.
if he
He's
was
just-
still a fucking character after the
Honk, stinky clown,
Yeah.
ha ha ha.
I agree 100%.
after all the fucking murder bullshit. Imagine if he actually had to face all that shit, man. Like,
Yeah, in his fucking redemption arc. What if he actually talked about? What if he had a moment with Jane? He had a moment with Jane where he was just
No, you can't do that.
Like,
not
seriously,
allowed to do that.
Gamzee apparently is not supposed to be in any sort of way,
If you portray Gamzee as a sympathetic character,
Is this
he
Rose
will
related?
get put
well,
in jail.
it's kind of
He
related
will end up in jail.
because we were talking about relationships and
Yes.
Hussey writing
No.
relationships, and it went into Gamzee because Gamzee was with Terezi and Geo. And Gamzee stops being a character, not specifically because he was in a relationship, but because he was a plot device. And I think I summarized everything that we just talked about for the last 10 minutes.
God damn it. Yeah, but Gamzee stopped being a character. Yeah, thank you for
Thank you.
fucking ending
Thank you
the
so much.
bad digression. Gamzee stopped being a character as soon as Shushpap happened, and then he became a plot device. What are other? Jake and Dirk stopped being.
Yeah.
Jake
yeah.
and Dirk stopped
That's
growing.
what happens when you get into a relationship.
They stopped
and
growing
Homestuck.
when they got into a relationship. Jake and Dirk were growing.
Yeah.
They were changing. And then they got into
Totally.
a relationship, and now Jake is just loser, hunk, loser, hunk. And Dirk is know-it-all Mary Sue motherfucker that I hate, and I want him to
Kinda
fucking
sad.
die. Should have been Dirk.
Damn.
When it comes to character relationships that Hussey writes, I honestly feel that while he writes chemistry very, very well, to the point where he's aware that he writes chemistry very well, considering his snarky ass comments about Terezi during his fucking commentaries in the book releases. He also has the thing where he can't write actual relationships once we get past the stage of chemistry. And then he kind of forgets the chemistry that brought the two together, so they're just nothing.
Yeah.
You're very right.
Oh no. It's like when you get. It's like if he puts these characters in a relationship, they just stop trying.
Yeah.
That
It's like
happens to a lot
everyone's
of
stuck in a
people,
shitty
too, which
relationship.
is
Like the
sad.
only time I noticed anything that they're actually kind of endearing for each other, kind of endearing, was when Rose was like, "This is my wife, the mother of trolls," or something.
yeah.
In the epilogues, that was endearing. That was wow, I'm
That's
proud
cool.
I'm proud of my spouse. That's good. And then nothing. Roxy stops being a fucking character when she starts dating John. John, kind of is still a character.
Not for long.
Yeah, John keeps moving, but John and Candy, John kept moving as a character because then he went and stopped Tavros and all that shit. But Roxy just, she was just a boring version of herself from then
What's
on.
really bizarre is that, I know everyone frames John kind of emotionally cheating on Roxy by talking with Terezi so much on his phone and just kind of missing his life flying by, and how that's framed as a bad thing. But
That's not emotionally cheating at all.
that's my impression, though, from reading that. And to put it forward more, Roxy, in both routes, in my opinion, stops being the person she was when she was in Homestuck itself. She becomes void of her personality in a way.
Yeah.
Do people legitimately think that John talking to Terezi or texting Terezi was emotionally cheating? Is that unironic? Because that pisses me off, because that just kind of that just says that men can't, they're just saying men can't have platonic relationships with women. It's I have
That's just sad.
there's
It's a childish thing.
There's
to,
a girl-
think or.
I have seen people unironically say that John wasn't a good husband and his falling out with Roxy was because he was too busy with talking with Terezi and caring about that than salvaging whatever was happening with his wife. And I'm just like, but his wife doesn't engage with him and doesn't give a shit about the things he's worried about.
And then John only talks with Terezi once every 6 months. There's no you can't develop a relationship like
He's
that.
literally like a
He's got to have
therapist.
somebody.
John had a pen pal.
Yeah.
I have an internet pen pal, and she's a female, and we've had a very platonic relationship since high school, and we confide in each other. It's platonic. If you think that John is emotionally cheating on Roxy with Terezi, you have never had a relationship, and you are an idiot. I'm sorry. I shouldn't insult people, but yes, you are. Because you seriously, that is... I've been in a very long and committed relationship, and that takes time and effort, and you can't emotionally cheat on somebody.
Yeah, it
for,
does.
if you talk to someone every 6 months.
I think this plays into something.
I'm glad we said something about that anyway, because I knew there was something wrong when I read assessments about that are trying to voice the responsibility of this marriage failing on John. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know, I'm with John. I feel like there's something wrong with everything that's going on.
I mean, most of us, I kind of understand that most of us kind of have been in long-term relationships here in this podcast. And yeah, that doesn't sound like cheating at all to any of us.
And
Yeah,
John needs...
It's okay to have
He needs them more
friends.
than most. Poor guy.
He needs
Terezi's the
somebody
only
to
one who
talk
really
to.
did care about him.
Yeah. Why do they want John to be isolated? That's just so sad.
What's the first step of an abusive relationship? They start isolating you from friends and family. Well, that's what the writers did to John.
That's a good point.
I think this all plays into, the reason Hussey is so shit at this. It's in part due to the fandom, or at least fear of, the fan base taking things and going, oh, I don't even know how to phrase this, honestly, but,
Hussey is bending over backwards to the fucking, the fucking
The
community because he
wanna
doesn't
deal with
want
crazy-
quote.
to deal with the bullshit.
crazy fucking shipping fucking morons.
Yeah, if you are at risk of getting razor blades sent to you inside cookies, so when you eat one your mouth gets cut up, I don't blame you for bending over to your crazy fandom.
They were shipping him
Stay
more
safe.
Stillos.
I guess. yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how this all
now,
started, kind of.
Now, how about we stop talking about all this bullshit and get on to the newest iteration of Rose? Let's have some unironic Rosebot discussions. How does everyone feel about Rosebot? Just give me your first impression of how you feel about Rosebot. Saxel, let's start with you. That's your whole description. Just
Yep.
all right. Phoebe.
Nice design. Yeah, that's it. It's unnecessary, but hey, at least it looks cute.
Doesn't quite work in this style.
Yeah, I agree. It's too soft. I wish they would allow the artist to draw a corner once in a while, or an edge. That'd be very nice.
Zermag's been drawing for 10 years. I think she knows how to do a corner.
I figured out what the problem with it is. It's the art style is very on with keeping, I guess, the width proportions of the arms, but with Hussey's kind of style, the arms really should be thinner. That's why they kind of come off looking stubby.
Yeah, thin and long. He's always gangly.
He deliberately made them to look like puppets. They were
They
puppets.
kind of seem like the noodle arms, but they're too thick. They should be like
Yeah, that's a good way to
fettuccine,
put it,
but they're
actually.
like udon.
The other bits, how they're constructed, Hussey style usually doesn't give necks. It's like a head on top of the stump that the torso starts at, and the arms loop off after that. And they're usually very, long and stringy to contrast with the very dense center body.
Well, we'll talk about that because we still haven't gotten my or Tart's opinion. So, Tart, what's your opinion on Rosebot?
Cunt.
All right.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, why are you cheating? I don't care if you're metal. Why are you cheating?
My opinion on Rosebot is she's a fucking duped. She's a hack. she's a fucking hack, and she's a fraud. Yeah, she's a hack. She's a fraud. She's a bitch. She's a spineless loser, even though she has a fucking mechanical spine. And she you think with her, ultimate self and her ultimate brain knowledge and all that shit, she'd be able to have ultimate knowledge of speaking correctly, but nah. She's fucking, God, I hate, Rosebud is just a spineless bitch.
Do you remember me talking earlier about Rose's arc and, her fighting fate and her giving in? I feel like Rosebud is the epitome of her giving up in a way where she completely acquiesces to fate and the whims of something above her rather than fighting against it. It was to Dirk, but it's the culmination of her anti-arc. Instead of her rising to the occasion, she just consistently falls until she's this subservient slave to fate itself, the guy who's controlling the narration.
Does anybody ever like a character that constantly is just falling and constantly staying the same?
No.
She's static. Her staticness is the fact that she is a bitch to fate. She says she's not a bitch to fate, but she's always a bitch to fate. That's her character.
That's what happens when you become a mouthpiece for an author that doesn't know how to write.
Yeah, there are some characters out there that drop, that they fall and they are shit for a long time. Theon from Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire. I hate Game of Thrones, but I love Song of Ice and Fire. Theon is
he's a good example of that.
Theon is a horrible character, but then he comes back. He has his arc. In A Song of Ice and Fire, he starts to run away from Ramsay, and I don't even know what he did in Game of Thrones because I stopped watching in season 3.
I could probably explain real succinctly, but the whole idea with Theon is that he is part of this family. He betrays this family for his blood family, who treats him like garbage that he tries to prove himself to. But then he gets what's coming to him after betraying his family who took him in and took care of him by suffering horribly.
Oh yeah, so just want to say something. In Game of Thrones, in the show, they just cut his nuts off. In the book, it's even worse. They flay his dick and balls. And they flay his dick and balls, and they keep him. They make him beg to have it cut off. Because in the book they flay his fingers and whatnot.
That's scary.
And they keep them on until they flay his fingers and his toes, and they make him beg to keep it off. And then they don't ever say what they did to his nuts. But they've had other.
But you probably don't want to know.
Parts of him
what
removed.
they did.
They've had him beg for parts of him removed, and whatever they removed, they've always flayed. Yeah. So they go even harder in the book, but that's how horribly he suffered.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, Theon's route after that, after he gets horribly tormented and broken as a man, is finally doing the right thing for one of his adoptive family members who is in this place with this horrible man who does this horrible thing.
His
Did
family.
Sansa actually married Ramsay in the show, right?
Yeah, in the books, it
Yeah,
wasn't
in the books, it was a fake Sansa.
So
it was just
okay, but we're not a Game of Thrones thing. I'm just trying to explain this.
Yeah, whatever. He in the books, he did the same thing for just a random woman. How about
That's
that?
still he basically goes against this guy who terrifies the shit out of him and broke him so utterly that he's just this miserable Jake-like mess.
He got Jake.
Has about as much balls as Jake too.
Oof. So he helps her and helps her escape, basically. And that's his redeeming action for all the terrible things he done. He did something really horrible that involved a lot of people who trusted him dying, and because of that, he bent the karmic retribution for it. And then he redeemed himself by helping somebody who was related to his first sin. And, that's going down off of a massive slope and then swooping back up on a roller coaster.
And
that's an interesting arc because it's kind of like a reverse arc almost. But
it's a parabola.
It's a parabola, yeah.
But Rose is a what is it? It's a exponential power to the something to the a negative exponential power. It just like goes down and then it flatlines and it sticks around 0 forever.
Your characters are supposed to have achieved something by the end. I can't even
like,
blame
no,
Homestuck 2 for this, because this is firmly a Homestuck problem. What?
Yeah.
The victories were handed to them almost. They didn't really achieve anything. They'd never fix their problems because real people don't have arcs. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
I can't say
terrible is
that with a straight face.
like Dave codifies this too. He acknowledges that Rose doesn't improve as a person or do anything of significance, and then he's just like, yeah, but who gives a shit? Because real people don't have arcs.
Just sit there and be a fucking failure, you absolute tool.
No, fucking real people do have arcs. Fucking Malcolm X has a hell of an arc.
Yeah, like
Malcolm X has a hell of an arc. Like Winston Churchill has a hell of an arc. Like, there are plenty of humans in real life that have real arcs. That is so bullshit.
I agree.
But Rose, like, okay, they haven't. Now we can't say Rose won't have her Theon-like arc where she where she like comes back and throws the yoke off of
I feel
Dirk.
like that's what they're gonna go for, but the problem is that it's already been drilled into us through Homestuck itself for so long that she's just.
I don't think they will, because I don't think they're good enough at writing that.
Yeah.
And even if they try, they're not going to stick
Honestly,
the landing
if they
either.
try, I think it's going to be shit, but at least maybe they'll try.
They better. I really hope they try.
Trying is better than not trying.
Here's the terrible thing with it. Like, it's triumphant if Rose is able to overcome that kind of control herself, but it's tainted by what happened, I guess, recently with Rose and Terezi, and sitting there and going, wait a minute.
You know, I really think
nothing matters, so let's just ruin a bunch of stuff for ourselves.
You're cheating on your wife. Why are you doing that? That's terrible.
You know, Rose's arc reminds me a lot of Anakin's arc.
Go on.
I want you to elaborate.
Rose. So what did Anakin do? Anakin betrayed everybody he knew, killed his wife, or did something horrible to his wife, became mostly mechanical, and then served under an all-powerful being.
What the frick?
I mean, that did happen, yeah.
And now they're kind of setting it up where, Rose is gonna betray. They're kind of setting it up where, like, possibly Rose is gonna betray Emperor Palpatine. I mean, Dirk. Fuck. God damn it. Rose is Darth Vader.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so, like, sure, Anakin is one of the best arcs in all of literature and media. Really.
So are we gonna watch, like, Rose kill a bunch of Dirk's younglings?
Oh my god.
So.
Rose is, like...
No, she's already past the child murder stage.
The question is, do you think Rose is just going to be actively planning against Dirk? Like, just, slowly in the background manipulating against him? Or, getting her trap and machination gone and then close it? Or is she just going to, in an act of passion, in the ultimate moment, ruin it?
I don't think we can say yet, but I feel like...
I think... I think what would happen is the second thing, because the first thing is too well written. I don't think they would actually go as far as plan something like that. It would have to be just all in one go.
Now,
here's a
that
dump
also
of
means
information.
that Rose is actually in, like, awareness of what she's doing, which frames situations again like Rose and Terezi really poorly.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I think they now because you say that it would frame Rose and Terezi really poorly. I feel like this is all right. Prediction for when Homestuck 2 ends in the year 2029, when coronavirus has killed at least 77% of humanity. I feel like they're gonna go. This is what I think they're gonna do. They're gonna go for they've already framed it where, like, Rose really doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
Exactly. That's why they're not going to plan anything.
Like, they're framing it right now as Rose is basically just Dirk's plot bitch, and they're gonna get it so that Rose Rose, maybe Rose awakens in this Terezi fight, and then she actively starts fighting against, she starts setting up her machinations to destroy Dirk, and then because
Okay, that would be cool.
but because
That would be cool.
but because they're fucking hacks, they won't make Rose actually finish it. Like she becomes the Darth Vader, but it's like plotted out. Dirk knew about the whole time and ruined it.
Yeah.
Dirk just okay, and then they have to defeat Dirk. Or, no. They don't. Fuck. They might not even defeat Dirk because this thing sucks. She's gonna take her machinations to defeat Dirk, and Dirk is just gonna fucking in like a snap way. He's just gonna snap, and all of her plans are gone. And then if Dirk does get defeated, something really stupid is gonna kill him. Like. So, oh my God, sword.
L.E. John,
Ellie John, yeah.
Yeah, like how the Condus was just stabbed.
Yeah,
That's
something fucking stupid. Like, Dirk falls backwards onto sword. Like he trips on a banana peel and falls onto.
Oh no.
Falls onto
his whole thing
sword
is,
with 5 periods.
Decapitation.
Yeah, and then wow, Homestuck's over. Have fun.
Yeah, okay.
I would be
that's my
satisfied if that happened, honestly.
That's how I think Homestuck's gonna. That's what they're gonna do with Rose. And if Kate ever hears this, and you were thinking that you're gonna do this, you like, oh man, that was in your plans, and I now guarantee you're not gonna do this because I called it out. If you ever hear this.
Well, that goes for like anything.
Kate.
I had the same reaction when I was like, hey, what if L.E. John? And then I'm like, shit, I said it on the internet. They're going to see this and not do it because someone predicted it. Haha.
Prove yourselves for once. Kate, if you're listening, make Dirk slip on a banana peel.
Yeah.
Slips on a fucking Smuppet.
Do it or no fucking
Yes.
balls.
Right on
Slips
the
on a
ass.
plush rump and dies via sword.
Embrace the fucking meme. Do it.
Via impaling.
All right.
Oh my god, that would be great. That would be really good. I would honestly be fine with that. That'd be great.
I laughed.
Yeah, I'd laugh. That's
I'd
all
laugh.
I want.
I'd laugh. I'd probably go to the land of stumps and dismay. After that, though, it's like, oh, I created this. This is my hell. I want it to happen, but I don't. Any other descriptions of what we want to talk about with Rosebot or Rose in general?
I think we probably said most of what we can say about Rose. I like her.
Yeah.
She
was
is
so
like,
good.
as an overall, like, before, like, she plunged into the depths of plot slavery, she was very fun, and I really liked her character. And I also think her God tier robes are very pretty.
Yeah, I agree. It's
I
such a nice
I really liked her in
design.
her black robe. In her black robe with the purple stuff, and I'm gonna say this straight out. I once made my girlfriend dress up as Rose, and I fucked her. Dressed up as Rose like that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It was
go
hot.
for it.
It was hot. I might edit that out. I might not.
Keep it in or no balls.
All right. Fuck it. It's in. It's in. You know what? Yeah, I'm keeping it in. And if you want to be the ultimate Chad, make your significant other dress up like a Homestuck character, even if they don't read it, especially if they don't read Homestuck.
Oh
And
man.
fuck
You've
them.
got to describe it to them
Just
without
do-
showing a picture.
Yeah. I want
My-
you to dress, give them the clothes and say dress up like this. And then say, like, fuck, some girl out there is going to make her boyfriend just say, like, say tally ho. Say tally ho.
I hope so.
Say
Maybe
Sally
fuck-
Ho. Who wants
Do
to
the
fuck
accent.
Jake?
A lot of
Do
people,
the
and it's not
accent.
good. It's pretty bad.
All right. I think this is the worst podcast we've made, but I love it.
Fucking mess.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing wonderful.
I've insulted everything. I've definitely insulted Scottish people because we've just brought Tart on, and he's just an insult to all of them.
Oof.
I'm sorry, Tart.
What basically
Oh right,
just-
don't forget, I'm also a race trader too.
Oh gosh, yeah, you're talking to a bunch of white people, man. No, Phoebe, you're the You're fine.
I'm freaking like a mixed mud. I don't know what you're talking about, my dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, me and Tart are just we're cis-het white males.
Go to jail right
We
now.
don't have opinion.
Cis-het white males with multicultural females on your podcast.
Go to jail right now. How dare you?
I'm only like 2 of those.
Oh, we're freaking presumptuous here on Tart. My bad.
Yeah, sorry, Tart. Whatever. You're Tart. You're a pie.
Very good.
Tarts are delicious.
Tart is a very good man. I want
What
some
kind
treacle
of
tart
pie
now.
do you think he is? I'm
Shepherd's
gonna
pie.
say, oh yeah.
He's very.
I like that.
He's very North. That's a North pie.
I'm fucking Schrodinger's white person.
All right. Well, this has been the Fruity Rumpus Asshole podcast. I hope you made it this far. You've probably stopped at some
Yeah,
point.
right.
But if you comment Dave Cat's
Carcat was fucked. Got it.
if you comment Dave Cat
Please.
sucks in the comments, I'll give you a prize. Don't know what it is
Ooh.
yet, but I'll give you a prize.
I'll do a doodle. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll make
If you
doodle.
do Carcat was fuck, I'll draw
Oh
something.
hell yeah!
Yeah. Let's do
Great.
it.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Now, if you do not agree with any of our opinions, I want you to fight about it in the comments. All right.
Fight about it really hard, and the winner gets to join us on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. All right.
Gladiatorial combat.
Have a good evening, everybody. Don't forget to read I'm Good, I'm Gone,
Oh yeah.
and
Fuck.
all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
on the-
Don't forget
the
to read I'm Good,
website.
I'm Gone. Don't forget to read Alternate Mayorverse.
Don't forget to read Alternate Mayorverse. Don't forget to read Carcat Goes to a Convention. Don't forget to read Mr. Tambourine Man. And also Lord English Unmerge. There you go.
And
Damn.
And You're Someone.
And
also.
You're Someone. And Fire Quest too. Holy shit.
I'm going to point out, if you like Homestuck, please, for the love of God, if you haven't already, go to mspfa.com.
And read.
There are people on there that make amazing stories, either based off of Homestuck, on the characters you love, new concepts based off of Homestuck's like world building ideas, or just new stuff in general that's really cool, done by really passionate
It's like
people.
the best place to go for original content, honestly. Even our editor Val has a bunch of comics and they're all wonderful.
Yeah, we'll get Val on soon. And we have a lot more interviews coming.
Oh hell yeah.
Also, shout out, go to the new MSPA forums run by our kind of friend CPA. I've already called him out. He's doing a very good job there.
He's great.
Kind of friend. Oof.
Well,
Oh, no,
he's
he's
your
wonderful.
guys'
I'm
friend.
friends with CPA.
We argue about stupid shit all the time. So
Yeah, you guys
I don't
are
even
you
know.
guys are friends.
I
You guys
guess.
are best friends.
What's the joke that we're black for each other?
yeah.
That's the worst joke. I hate it.
It's a little true.
And both of us fucking deny it. Oh no, I'm
Oh,
not.
that makes it more true.
Oh no, I'm not black. I'm not black horny for him. All right. Okay. That's been a good podcast. This is gonna be a bitch to edit.
Oh
All right.
yeah. Good luck.
Signing off.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right. We can end the fucking recording. We're done.